Hey, hey, y'all. What's going on? What's going on? My check. My check. Hey, what's going on? We're back with another one. Embracing being an independent thinker, number 11, part 11. Okay, let me get my shit right. Let me get my shit right. See who coming in here. If you see any trolls that accuse me of some bullshit and the villains, snipe them. I don't want to hear no bullshit from anybody, and that certain individual, I know who it is. If he comes in here with that bullshit, I'm sniping him. Period. Stay off the fucking channel. If you don't like what we gotta say, go fuck yourself. Thank you. Cause we ain't here for no bullshit, no bitch assness. Get the fuck off my channel. If you're not participating in this series, we're not thinking this incelian bullshit that we be hearing all the time. No incels allowed. Keep your comments to yourself and the bullshit behavior to yourself. We're not fucking with y'all this year. We're not fucking with y'all in 2022 because y'all bitch ass is about to be executed on YouTube. We're not here with that rhetoric. We're not here for that black woman rhetoric. My channel's not based off that. I don't talk about that. That's one of the reasons why I did this series, and the reason I did it is to get away from that bullshit. It meant something back in the day, and the reason I did this series, I was trying to break away from the bullshit that happened so many years ago and even 2 years ago. Like I saw where these dudes was coming from, but it's the regurgitating talking points I've seen years and years ago. And the reason I'm doing this is because I love this series because it started out in the summer, but I decided to bring it back in the fall, and I'm gonna start doing it traditionally like fall, winter, and spring. And it's the perfect time to think for yourself and stop thinking frivolous shit and things like that. I know men are struggling, everybody's homeless around the world, so we already know veterans and things like that. But no trolls tonight. I'm not with y'all. I'm not with the bullshit tonight. No. Y'all ass will be blocked, be scorched on sight. We ain't playing with you. This is a embracing independent thinking series. If you want to come with the bullshit, come to DTN. Because y'all know you ain't all hell Gray Skull advisor. What's going on, man? What's going on, man? Salute, 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 salute. Yeah, man. Yeah. We ain't with the bullshit today. So we're gonna talk about no more daylight savings. So we're gonna get into that around the 30-minute mark. When it hits 30 minutes, I'll show y'all something, right? So we're gonna speak on that just in the 30-minute mark. So we got like 3 minutes in. We're gonna talk about actual things, what's really going on in the world. Interesting things about the Ukraine and Russia. I'm gonna talk about this for a minute. Most people say Russians are winning, like online, which is bullshit. Different sources say Ukrainians is throwing Molotov cocktail bombs, destroying their tanks, and Putin's on the corner. He's isolated. He just paid his men to protect him, and they riding right now. But here's the secret: he's so isolated, he's afraid of being assassinated. He may poison him and kill him. He's only got 3 months to live, they say, right? Well, actually, it's gonna be 1 month to 2 months to live. I'm gonna tell you why. He ain't gonna make it to May or June. He can die next month if you want to get technical. Because see, Ukraine's done whooped their ass. The guerrilla warfare is winning. And the reason people don't want to believe that because they don't know shit about warfare. If you study Vietnam and study stealth tactics, they've always won. We're always gonna be involved in the stealth shit. Come on now. You got CIAs, you got FBIs, you got everybody. They play the stealth game. Come on, man. Law enforcement plays stealth. A lot of people don't know. A lot of those guerrilla fighters, those revolutionaries, they use stealth tactics. Stealth has always been a thing around the world. I think it's a lost art. Um, I need to talk about that more often about the military aspect about stealth. Stealth has always been a fundamental thing in the world. Some people don't believe it because you can't win warfare with stealth. Bullshit. Yeah, you can. To stop certain people from doing it could be bioweapons, which is like nuclear and things like that. See, a lot of niggas, they don't know shit about warfare. It's a combination of beliefs, what you've done. Some people are just going to look at it like, how those Ukrainians are fighting back against the Russians? Well, the Russians are stupid. They can't fight worth a lick. They going by the old style, what you saw with the Nazis and stupid ass Americans do for years. That shit don't work. Americans learned the stealth game over time. They recruit a bunch of black soldiers over time after World War II. Well, actually, way before the World Wars. I'll say this: they had us historically. They had us since the American Revolutionary War. Let's just be real. They had us every military there was. Right. The After World War I, from World War II, that was the height of our careers. After that, they kept recruiting some in the Korean War, even though we lost. But here's the thing about Vietnam. That's where you saw see the street gangs was birthed out of that. A lot of those boomers that went to that particular war, a lot of gangsters was born. No matter what color or race you was, if you was in a biker gang or one of these street gangs, they came from the military. Some of those gangsters used to be in the military. People forget that. And if y'all watch basic training on gangland, it shows you the proof. They dropped that little knowledge. A lot of those guys had to learn how to fight properly. That's why the police is so fucked up and the gangs are fucked up because number one, the military made everybody a killing machine. So they don't recruit nerds anymore. They recruit a well-balanced group like semi-nerds and hood dudes. And that's why you got a lot of killers in there. You got a lot of killers in America. What's going on, May? Salute, salute. But the military killers for a reason. The reason we got killing machines, and I think me and Cerulli talk about super soldiers. He said that's the American super soldiers we're talking about. So it shouts out to the advisors talking about the robotic. See, that's one element right there. That's one. Another aspect, you're going to see people with weapons with their foot and the body parts. We're going to get there. We're going to get to that level. So we're going to understand that what it means to be in that fraction. So that's the aspect of what you're talking about in the military. So the military is the key of economics. I know economics is bad around the world, but I mean our economics is up and down. So I'm not gonna get into that because everybody's got their own purpose of what economics is gonna be. So when you talk about sanctions, China will help them a little bit, but they're not gonna deal with more sanctions with Russia. They ain't dealing with that shit. A lot of countries don't want to deal with Russia. Russia's fucked up right now. A lot of people think they're losing. The ones that's losing is them. And which is correct because Ukrainians is whooping their ass. A lot of people think the Ukrainians ain't gonna last long. They say it's gonna be like 5 to 10 years. And I don't say those idiots out there that say that y'all don't know what the hell you talking about. It's bullshit. The war of today is different. That guy that's leading the Ukrainians is fucking young. Y'all don't realize that he's in his 30s. It don't take him that long to wipe you off the face of the earth. He can use nukes too. See, y'all so stupid. America supplied nukes all the time. So a lot of people just want to just spew a lot of shit and try to say, "Oh, the Ukrainians is losing and here and that." And I'll be listening to different news sources and things like that. And I think people just like, "All right, we here, we here, we here." You know, I'm not a military expert myself, but I'm just saying, like, I read different sources how the military moves. You understand what's going on. So this Zelensky guy, I think someone said I think it was in a chat room, a white chat room. I went in the newsroom. Someone said he's a thug. I think it was in Code Breakers chat room. I say at one time, it was like a few weeks back, last month. He said that guy's a thug. And I'm like, well, yeah, he may be a thug and a comedian, but one thing I respect about him, he's a true patriot to his country. That's their sixth president since the inception was Zelensky. So Zelensky is the sixth president in that country. That is fucking amazing. Let me tell you something. Anybody that loves their country, a true patriot and a nationalist like that, that's nationalism, right? We haven't even talked about nationalism in a political system, what nationalism is. I ain't even got to that. Let me tell you something. Now that Wednesday, I haven't done nationalism. We talked about it in brief, in reference. We ain't got into nationalism. That's a whole nother story, but you know, that's a whole nother subject. I don't know if I'm going to do that, but I'll think about it. If y'all want to request that as a research, yeah, nationalism is a whole nother subject right there. If y'all want me to go in depth on that, there's a lot of nationalists in the world, right? So nationalism is a big topic. So yes, I talk about conservatism, liberalism, libertarianism, the main ones. That's your basic. Now we're talking about totalitarianism, anarchism. I talked about the contractarianism, the social contract, contractualism. That's what that is, the same thing. And then we're gonna talk about capitalism tomorrow. So we're gonna go in depth on a lot of things. So we need another stream on the political systems, number three. And I'm not gonna go in depth on feminism because to me it's irrelevant. I'll let the ladies speak on that. If they want to chop it up with us, we could talk about that. How you look at it. I'll bring the research. We ain't gonna derail the topics. I don't give a damn about no KS. Let's stick to the actual historical facts. We'll bring that out. The only reason I would rather do that, it has to be with a woman on the panel, so I can just say, "What do you think about this?" We ain't gonna deal with no arguments and dumb shit. I'll send you the links and appropriate research. So you know what I'm saying. That's the only way I'm gonna do that. But the only reason I don't talk about it on this channel is it's no need because everybody's gonna derail it and shit like that. Because I don't know how niggas feel and everybody else feel. Because it'd be a bad idea to do that. I would love to talk about it, but it's a waste. A lot of dudes get emotional and the nigga shit just go left. Nah, I'm not having that. No, take that shit somewhere else. See, the incels want to take over and ruin my shit. Be like, say, man, they done ruined everything. You know, I don't want to hear all that. Get the fuck out of here. We're sticking to the topic. Who created? And if we're involved, we're involved. It's gone new. But yeah. But one thing I can say about the conflict over there, the war over there, Ukraine and Russia, that goes back years and years ago, and it goes back to the days of Yugoslavia and things like that. It's a repeat of history. So Ukrainians is trying to get some get back from years what Russia did to them, and then Chechnya. It's the same repeat. So when we talk about the military, we study the shit. Now, I talked to guys that's in the military for years when I was in the workplace, and they told me about their stories and things like that, and they did their time. And the ones that have friends and service, I have family members that was in the military as well. Even my grandfathers were World War II vets. They didn't tell me much about it, but it's just the same stories. But when you go there, you know, almost joined the military years ago. The reason I didn't join, I choose the sports route. That's what fucked me up because I had so many options. The military I could have, but I said nah. I just want to stick to the sports route, the college route. That was my problem. I was more like I'd say like a semi Gabe Abe, so to speak. This is why I can tolerate Gabe. We're on that type of level. But if I was a military guy, the branch I would chose, it would have been the Air Force, like my cousin, like he did. Now at first the Navy was trying to recruit my ass immediately. They was trying to recruit my ass hard back in '06 during the Bush era. That shit didn't work. I dodged that. So Army got, let me tell you something about the Army. The Army tried to recruit me back when I was in Atlanta in the mall. What I think this is like what 2010. When I was 22, they tried to recruit me back then. I dodged that shit. The only ones I did not dodge was the Marines and the Air Force and the Coast Guard. So many branches to choose from. If I went overseas and chose another branch, I'd have been that dude. The problem with me was I was so focused on basketball so much, I delve into those topics and make it more coherent what I was doing. So at that time, it was vital to be that person. So yeah, you know, the Air Force had the education. Now, if I want to play sports and did the military, I would have chose the Air Force, and they have a good school and everything. And like Dre was saying, yeah, the academia and all that. I think my cousin did all that, and I think he's in the service as well. So yeah, yeah. What's going on, Alonzo? Salute, salute. And that's just what it is. Yeah, salute. Oh, okay. Navy equipment. Okay, cool. But like I said, man, over there in Ukraine, it's not as bad as people think. It's bad, and I know the children lost their schools. It took them years to rebuild, and Russia's bombing them because all he's got is bombs. He can't fight them head on with guerrilla warfare and stealth tactics, and their tanks being destroyed. Russia's desperate right now. They're divided and they worry about bioweapons, talking about nuclear weapons. That's what Biden was saying. And Biden said he got him. He's actually, I hate to say this, Putin checkmated himself. A lot of people try to say he didn't get checkmated. Yes, he did. He checkmated himself. The reason he checkmated himself, it's just like, what the fuck are you doing? You had a chance to, like, quiet as kept. If he really wanted to do some damage on Ukraine, he could have nuked them if he wanted to. But here's the thing about Putin. He realized, why do that? He knew he was gonna get sanctions, but here's the secret though. He didn't have a end game. The oligarchs, so now once the oligarchs got exposed and he got exposed, it's over. Russia, all they have to do is retaliate, but they can't. So Ukrainians are tough. A lot of people laugh at the Ukrainians. They laughed at them. They said these guys are weak. They can't fight back, defend their country. They're not patriots. And next thing you know, they start doing damage. You know what I'm saying? But we understand that most of the time you start seeing things from a different angle. If you really look at the Ukrainians, they're actually taking the fight to them. So basically, you're dealing with a group of guys that's learning how to fight properly. And that's just what it is. I'm not saying this war can last 5 10 years. I don't think it's gonna last that long. No. If Putin's in power, he's gonna be assassinated, whatever. Nah, he's not gonna last long. I think he'll die next month or my birthday month in May. I'm gonna tell you a secret. He's gonna slip up and be stupid. Yeah, he may have a bunker, but he's done. His own people turn on him. You can't trust your own people at this point. You done fucked up to the point that Zelensky can blow your brains out. But here's what Zelensky's doing. Zelensky's not worrying about killing this guy. His own people's gonna do that. He already defeated his men, and they ain't even trained fighters. They're school teachers and shit. Russia's a joke at this point. Russia has lost its way since the days of the Cuban Missile Crisis, Cold War days, and being stupid as hell. Remember 2017? They lied about having nuke agents from the Soviet shit. I saw that at France 24 today on the news, online, right? They lied about a lot of shit, and France is pulling their whole card, and they in a whole election right now. Georgia, the state of Georgia, United States, is in a whole election right now with Stacey Abrams and what's his name, the dude that's a Republican. He's fucking up. He gonna lose though, and if she wins, she gets hold on this internet. You incels is gone, bro. You incels is gone. You can't talk about black women. I try to tell you, if black women get some power in politics, they control Google and YouTube, it's over. That's why I don't talk about it. Well, greetings, Shaw. Greetings. How you doing? How you doing? But yeah, man, you can't talk about that shit. I mean, it's okay to teach, man stuff, but there's better ways to do it and be respectable and do things that you can get out. You supposed to your own problem solvers. You can't blame women for your problems. That shit's not content no more. That shit gets old after a while. You can't do that shit. It's not conducive for your health. Thinking like that. Yeah, Brian Kemp. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Brian Kemp. There you go. Yeah, he ain't shit. But shout out to DS1 talking about men being homeless and things like that. That's common down here, and that's a problem. That's gonna be addressed real soon. You gotta get off your ass offline and do something. Like the villain said, go outside and be productive. But the men need help most. Complaining about women all day is not conducive to your health. I'm just saying that right now. You should be thinking about what you're doing in the future. I mean, the war is more important. Ukraine is going to be fine. They just need a little protection, but they don't need U.S. help. Quite scale. Yeah, U.S. supply them with the weaponry, but outside of that, they're going to be a stable country. Here's the thing about Ukraine. Ukraine's going to be probably our new allies in the next 5 to 10 years. 5 to 10 years from now, they'll be allies. Let's just keep it real. Most of them will be our allies. You're going to start seeing them come over here way more, getting new jobs. A lot of people say, is that a bad thing? No, it's not a bad thing. The black man has to work for himself and things like that. He can still get a job with them. You just got to make trade deals and things like that. What's going on? Go peace, salute. You just going to have to learn these things matter and to compete. You're going to compete with everybody. That's what black man always does. That's the thing about the American Negro. He's going to compete for jobs regardless. Everybody else do too. You may see Ukrainians in Georgia. There's some here right now. Before the war, and the Russians, right? I'll tell you a secret. A lot of Russians, quiet as kept, they're gonna dwindle in America real soon. But here's the thing: If we got allied countries like Ukraine, everybody else that's pro America, and like those Saudis and everybody else, you know what's gonna happen? They're gonna be the standard of the world. And what I mean by that is they're gonna get that support. So if we're talking about politics on that realm and new allies, like America wants to be the biggest empire since the Roman Empire of all time. So we're basically like the old Roman Empire, like the Fourth Reich, like we always preach on this channel, like what Cerulean was saying. He's absolutely correct. It's hard to teach that. So if you don't have that knowledge to understand that, why in the fuck are you trying to say Russians are winning? Russians ain't winning shit. Quite scale. A lot of people think they win it. They ain't winning shit. Putin's done. That's a totalitarian leader. I mentioned that in totalitarianism number 3. Y'all need to watch that stream. And I was breaking down Putin's demise. Once you're a dynamic leader, you're done. You can't go around and talk all this shit and I say, I am the greatest. No, you're not. You ain't shit. You're done. You're done. Basically, you're saying you don't give a fuck about your people. And the people's just leaving you. They turning on you. They're siding with the Ukrainians. It's gonna be a lot of changes in the world. What's up, Shannon B? Salute, salute, man. Salute, salute. But it is what it is. You see, y'all got to have these independent thinking skills to look at the big picture. There's more than life in just talking about hoes all day. When you talk about real shit like politics and current events, you already know people's going to be crazy. This new thing, standard of daylight saving times, is going to be standard. It's going to be a lot of bloodshed a little bit in the future. I think it's not a bad thing. I think it's healthy to go outside and things like that. But I'm just saying, just be careful with crazy people. Because sometimes in certain places that don't agree with this and heat waves, like in California, everyone else, it's gonna be some bloodshed. It's gonna be some bloodshed. I ain't gonna say it's gonna be a lot of bloodshed. Let me take that back. It's gonna be some bloodshed. I mean, America's getting to the point the nigga shit's dying off. It ain't gonna die off right away, but in the near future, we live in a time that technology done overtook things. Like I'll give you an example. There's certain video games I used to play. It's called Rage 2, right? If we was in a Fallout game series, right, and there's Rage, that's by Bethesda, right? Those futuristic games can be true. A lot of people gonna get tired of doing that shit, and it's gonna be survival mode. If you can't adapt to this newer society, you're done. It's all about going scrap and doing things. A lot of people don't want to deal with that reality. That's the reality we're living in. Now I know my man, the advisor, lives in Japan. That's different. They on a whole nother time. Asia is a whole nother world. Okay, I can't speak for that. He can speak for where it's going. I only can speak on the West Hem, what America's going. They're competing with the rest of the world, so it's futuristic. Now, can I talk about Mars? Absolutely. Mars is interesting. I don't know if we're gonna go up there and just bomb shit. It's like it is another game I used to like. It's called Red Faction. They had a series of it. I think they said the first game it was going to Mars on a spaceship with Ultor. When Ultor, corrupt corporation based on corporations we see today, and leave people on Earth to kill each other. The second time they went back to Earth. I didn't play the first two, but I understand. I've seen the games and stuff, and man, oh man, the second one, Commonwealth, was something else. The third game was a revolution, guerrilla warfare tactics. Earth Defense Force were the oppressors. Eventually, they defeated Ultor, but they became the oppressors to the miners. And the miners said, fuck it, we're going to get those hammers and we're going to fight everybody. Them and the Marauders fought against the mighty Earth Defense Force. That's what America's going to be. They're going to be like the Earth Defense Force, let us kill each other golden style. So you got to understand something. Most people are going to be on that type of time, right? And when you're dealing with that, that's the type of stuff that you're dealing with. So when you're dealing with that, that's a long-term effects in the world. Some people going to look at it like, how are we going to survive? Well, the foods is getting worse, and I've seen something on France 24 that was talking about the Indian women. It's expensive to get proper water and food by the government in a bunch of euros, and I think it was in Europe, and they're getting fucked up, and the kids is dying. I think 3 to 5 year olds or 3 to 5 years children die every day. I saw that on France 24. When I saw that shit, I was like, wow. And they was drinking contaminated water, vomiting, um, drinking the same water over and over again, and start dying in their meals, boiling it. And they were showing that on France 24. Since Russia Today is being obsoleted on YouTube, all I got is Al Jazeera, France 24, and the other news segments talking about this situation in the rest of the world as well. And then I said to myself, everybody's drinking contaminated water around the world, dying. We over here having the nice water that's bottled. Bottled water, a lot of people say that's bad, but that's debatable. We'll think about it a whole nother time. I could speak on ethics and environmental ethic politics. We can talk about environmental politics this coming Sunday. I'll find some links on that. We'll talk about that Sunday. I'll open up discussion. If y'all want to talk about environmental politics, we'll talk about that Sunday Madness. It's a free for all topic. We'll say random shit and that's it. I promise you, I will write some shit down Sunday Madness. Y'all gonna love it. Y'all gonna love it. But DTN, y'all better wait. I got some new avatars. I just linked up for that series of that strain. DTN is Daily Thursday News. It talks about the nigga shit on YouTube. I talk about other YouTubers as well, equal opportunity. And we're going to see some content creators that have more subscribers. We're going to talk about him, the influence of the new standard of YouTube. And yes, I'm going to add Lapeef, and it's a fair one. Lapeef is in it. Saint the Center's in it. He just did an interview with AM. And I'll explain about what I saw in that stream. I'm not a fan of the interview, the collab. I thought it was weak. Typical collab. This is a guy that said he's gonna slap up Kevin Samuels, but he didn't do shit. We gave him a selfie. Fuck out of here. But I'm gonna roast him in particular, not just AM. We roast AM all the time with subliminals and shit like that. We call him out man and things like that. There's no need to roast AM because you got a lot of defenders that nut ride him all the time. We already pulled their cards, so there's no need for him. He's not the subject. The subject is Saint the Center. Shouts out to Duke of Don. I subscribed to him, and he exposed Saint the Center, which is very interesting. And I kind of co-signed that. And I'm like, yeah, it's a lot of frauds. And to answer his question, YouTube back then did not have smart, intelligent computers, sir. Shouts out to you again. You had a great show last night as well. When I was watching The Advisor as well, simultaneously, you was talking to this trans person, formalized person, and you gave an interview. See, that's a good look for your channel, man. It's very interesting. And I know some people was in that chat room that frequent there. But shouts out to Duke of Don. Whoever's listening to this, y'all tell him I said I shout him out. Salute to the brother. Keep doing the great work. And appreciate to this Poppy Blanco, whatever his name is. He always greet me in the chat. Salute to him as well. I'll check him out sooner or later. I'm saying, but shouts out to those dudes for giving you that insight about dude. Because I was questioning Saint the Center. I always question him about his content, who he is. And I mean, some of his content is cool. But my issue is he is fraudulent, but we're going to be fair. Since he said he's honest, okay. But why you say all this reckless shit, but you want to block people and have an echo chamber? See, that's why I talk about glorified echo chambers. We talk about guys like this and everybody else. It's equal opportunity. They both equally get roasted, but is this what y'all like to listen to? That's y'all's thing. That's it. We're going to move on for that. We got the big homie as well, Miss Bigfoot. We got her ass too. We got everybody. So but the main topic is going to be Lapeef. We're going to show you about co-ed panels. You cannot say I hate them, but you allow that. That's mainstream TV on the internet. And the reason I want y'all to look at those screenshots to show that's the news that you're going to see is standard. So it's going to start on the 40-minute mark when I show those screenshots, right? And I'll probably pause it for a minute and talk, and then we're going to end it somewhere around I think it's like the hour mark, and then a geek bar brief synopsis. It's going to be, the stream is going to be like 2 hours. It's a 2-hour stream daily. It's like a news segment of Thursday, so it's 5:30. I'll end around 7 or something like that. It's not going to be a very long stream of the series, because if I have a lot of screenshots, I'll extend it to 3 hours. That's the max. The max will be 3 hours. We could go over whatever, but the first one will be 2 hours. I'm gonna tell you that right now. That's the max. And we're gonna talk about various things, and we're gonna keep the screenshots up, and we're gonna talk about it. and we're gonna stay with it. So when it gets to the 2 hour, I'll drop it down or whatever. So yeah, that's just what it is. And it's just like it's just what it is. I think talking about AM is easy. We do it all the time, just with shits and giggles. But safe to say, we gotta address that shit. What Duke the Don said, he did a stream on him, and this is gonna help us to learn about all these guys. If y'all want to get your money, that's cool, but why lie to the people? I don't subscribe to neither one of them. I'm just saying, I'm just being who I am as a villain as I am. I don't care for these dudes like that. I've been on panels with AM like 7 times, and I don't really care for him. He ain't really built like that. He's just a guy, just like anybody else. He tried to do that bullshit with me back in March 2nd of last year, March 2nd, when I met Kuda. That shit didn't work on me, bro. You ain't built like that. But if y'all see any trolls that try to slander me and shit like that, trying to say I got no nigga, let me tell you something. I don't address that individual right now, dude. The Fed's been watching y'all since 2012, and FYI, has been watching the whole time, years and years ago. This was in the works 2008 YouTube. I didn't know about YouTube until 07 when I was 19. I'm gonna tell you about myself. I didn't know agents was like thick like that in the 2000s like that. I didn't know that in the military and the internet and the military industrial complex. If you start talking like I used to talk back in the day in depth in it, see, I didn't go in depth like I do now. And what I'm saying is they've always been here. The police. Let me tell you something. Law enforcement has always been on the internet since probably 03 and prior. They've always had the internet. The secret thing people don't understand, the military too, they understand what's going on. Modern technology, it all comes from the military. I told this to my parents all the time. When I did my research years ago and this channel, I knew it, but I didn't think it was this thick. And then it got worse. Everybody started joining in these programs, these tech programs like the Brain Trust talking about. Man, I've been knowing that since 2012, 14, and all the way to 15. They was doing that shit. And people that was born around my age and making millions and millions of dollars of that shit as contract killers. Like, what the fuck are you slow ass incel niggas talking about? Coming in with that bullshit in the chat, he said, man, you go do that. I don't want to hear that shit. If you come in with that bullshit, you're getting sniped, bro. I ain't got time for that bullshit. I know who the fuck you are. I already done cut you off last night. So don't slander my name, bitch boy. Because I know who you are. You try to pretend you these other names. I know who you are. I ain't gonna say your name in the chat, but y'all know who I'm talking about. That bitch ass nigga that be cool with AM, be a troll, the Dr. Seuss character. I already know you trolled me with them fake accounts, bitch nigga. Hope you listening. Don't come in my chat no more. I will block you, and you're gonna get aired out with your bullshit for being a lackey to AM. You got multiple troll accounts, so don't do that, nigga. Fuck you and the rest of them niggas that think like you. I'm just saying, fuck all incels is like him. Y'all see incels like that, don't let him in the chat disrespect me. I ain't got time for that. If y'all want a problem, you can hit the damn link and I'm gonna bounce your ass off out of here. I ain't got time for you bitch ass niggas this year. Y'all getting executed on the spot. Fuck that nigga. But anyways, don't slander my shit. If you don't like what I said, I let you up the last time when Jay Sean cooked your bitch ass. Now you're gonna go cry to your fucking daddy. Go fuck yourself. You just mad because you probably on the hit list with the feds. The feds been watching, bro. They've been watching for years, man. Like, I study YouTube. I know what police do. Police don't give a fuck about you or anybody else. You just another incel they gonna execute and you out of here. They ain't playing with y'all. They actually put you on the firing squad. So y'all niggas better calm down with that rhetoric, man. I'm trying to tell y'all, this ain't nothing to play with. You know, Ty and them guys ain't gonna say they ain't telling you the truth. I've been flagged off this shit before, buddy. I have. 2012, when I lost my first channel. I try to tell y'all, I know these things, bro. They gonna hit you with foreign pictures, and come to find out they were the government. Those are not real people. They troll you too. They get you through trolling. You gotta understand that. It don't work on me because I used to troll back in the day, but when the feds do it, they do it subliminally. So you gotta be careful what you say. They watching what you're saying right now. So see, I don't say nothing on panels and argue and scream with y'all because y'all been marked for years and years ago. So Don't come in with that bullshit. It is what it is. But like I said, man, the military has always been a factor in economics. And economics, people get it how they get it, but the military has always controlled economic powers. Like we see in Ukraine right now, they're doing damage. But a lot of niggas, they just want to get mad at me, pissing me off, trying to troll me and shit, trying to blame Gino for shit. We ain't got nothing to do with that. Don't slander me or blame me, man. I ain't got time for that shit. Leave Gino alone. Leave us villains alone. We ain't fucking with y'all. If you have a problem and come to your original account, stop trolling like a little bitch. I got Sunday Madison's wide open. If you say something stupid, I'm gonna block your ass. Make your point and get the fuck up out of here. That's how I handle these bitch ass niggas. So these niggas is gonna get lobotomized, man. Like, dude, you're just a pathetic troll, and you're not helping nobody's doing content, and your shit's trash, bro. Ain't nobody watching you. I say it and I say it again. Niggas need to just chill the fuck out with that bullshit. And I stand what I stand on. That's just who I am. Like, I'm gonna say what the fuck I want to say on vlog streams. See, I left that shit alone, and they try to say, "Oh, you're," and he said some stupid comment over at the advisor. Dude, don't come in with that bullshit. Don't slander me like that. That's not true. You wasn't there. Who told you that? Don't come in with that bullshit. So that's what you niggas do. Oh, my fault. Past the 30-minute mark. I'm over here rambling. God damn it. Let's talk about this daylight savings thing. Let's talk about this shit right here. Give me 1 second. I'm over here rambling. You dumbass niggas. Okay, we're gonna read from courts. What will change if the U.S. adopts daylight saving times permanently? Okay. The U.S. Senate voted unanimously on March 15th, passed legislation that would make daylight saving time permanent, ending the cycle of changing clocks by an hour twice a year, and the most United States have been observing since the 1960s. Senator Sheldon, White House of Rhode Island, who co-sponsored the bill, call it an opportunity to add a little sunlight into most people's lives. But the change will move to the majority of the United States, except for Arizona, Hawaii, and some U.S. territories to daylight saving time, which gives people an extra hour of sunlight in the afternoon over the standard time, which offers more days of early light. The United States experimented with the adopting daylight savings that the 1973 and the switchback after 2 years. But now, if the House of Representatives agrees to take up the legislation and President Joe Biden signs it, the change will become permanent. Here are some of the ways that individual behaviors or societal activities could change as a result. More time to be active, because daylight saving time favors the light in the evening. It meant to encourage activity later in the day. Studies observing behavioral patterns have found people tend to spend more time away from home in the afternoon and evening, but also tend to wake up early and are more active around the house in the morning, which is true in some aspects. And they show you the graphs. The sleep is 116 minutes, 110. Work is 39 to 40, 17. Like, like the minutes. Like, here's the thing: 39 week before, week after 40, 17 to 17 before and after, 14 before, 16 after. Household activities, socializing and leisure, 13 before, 15 after. Eating and drinking, 9 each before and after. And we got 8 to 8, care for other households before and after. 5 before, education activities before, and then after 4. 3 to 3, sports and exercise. So it's 3 to 3. Low on that poll. That's bad right here. That needs to be fixed right there. That needs to be at least like 100. So yeah, man, it is what it is. Like, that's the minutes that they show. 3 minutes each on the sports, 5 to 4 minutes on the educational, 8 to 8 minutes, 9 to 9 minutes of eating and drinking. See, care for the household. Okay. 13 to 15, socializing, leisure. Household, 14 to 16, 17 to 17, traveling. See, people don't travel as much. Work, 39 to 40. Yep. And sleep and personal care, 16 to 10. That's That's what most people do. Okay. Also, children spend more time playing outside with the eating sunlight, and the fact of the study found that New Zealand trampoline injuries are most common in the spring, just after the clock shift forward. They show you the graph right here, and it goes down and like that. It changes in the activity during sunlight, depending on personal geography under the permanent daylight saving time, but just above all, the United States will experience later sunsets at 5 p.m. local time or later. But in places on the western edge of the time zone, like Michigan or West Texas, people will experience fewer days of early sunshine, which could curb morning activity. Let's see. Fewer crash, fewer car crash, fewer heart attacks. I don't know about that. That's kind of false right here. People still gonna get those regardless. Losing an hour's sleep in the spring can hurt people's health and affect their behavior. Research have been a consistent pattern of car crashes increase in days after the switch to daylight saving time when people lose an hour's sleep of decrease in the fall when people gain an hour. This can be debatable, but some of it can be true. Depends on where you at. Depends on where you're at. But other places, this can be up and down. I'm iffy about that one. Okay, spring shift, 2,580 car accidents. That's before 2,800 and 2,600 1 week after and immediately after. Fall shift, 4,020, 3,780. That's like immediately after. And then the week after is 4,200. That's the graph. So let me see if y'all can see that. Let's see, y'all can see that. But that's just what it is. I don't see if y'all can see that. No, that just takes me out of the shot. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna talk about this in a minute. So when we get to these graphs, it is showing you in the transition of daylight savings time can also lead to spike in heart attacks, but such as 24% in some cases. Major health events like cardiac arrest and strokes have been linked to sleep disruption, which is true. I believe that it does. It depends on what type of sleep you're doing. You got to sleep at least, I think, 4 to 8 hours is healthy. Most people sleep less is healthy too. But if you don't get enough sleep, I think it's 4 to 8 hours is healthy. But most of it, if you sleep too much, that can be unhealthy too. But that's up and down. That's a whole nother subject on that, which is healthy. Now I had to do some more research on that because that's debatable. Some people say some different things, different sources. I mean, I can have a discussion on that in the future. Comes with the time shift. So removing this twice yearly change would reduce risk. Yeah, that's true. It can, it depends on your diet too and sleeps. Energy savings, not so much. Daylight saving was the first adopted in Europe during World War One. See, like I said that last year on various panels. I'm gonna read this from the top again. Daylight savings was first adopted in Europe during World War One as way to conserve energy by pushing waking activities into as many hours of daylight as possible, reducing the need for electricity, gas to light and heat homes. See, I already knew about this in the workplace. I was the first one to say that 2 years ago. That's where it came from. A lot of people didn't believe me. See, this is right here. See, I'll give y'all the link in a minute. Y'all can read this for yourself. And the United States daylight saving schedule extended by 4 weeks in 2007 for the same reason. But the studies is tracking the relationships between daylight and saving electricity used to find the energy saving are minimal and at best in the United States Department of Energy and study and found that the daylight savings led to overall 3% and decreased electrified consumption in 2007 complete in the year before. In the weeks of study years from the standard time, and another study of Indiana from around the same time saw 1% increase in electricity demand during DST. Okay. Okay. So they just showing you factors, figures help you story context. Yeah. So they showing 60 cents, 68% shares. Yeah. So that's it for the link. If y'all want this, I'm gonna post this in the chat. This is quartz.com. I'm gonna copy it. I'm gonna put this in the chat. I'm gonna put this in the chat, y'all. I'll be right back for y'all. So I'm gonna step away for a minute. Let's see who's in the chat. Oh, hell, Gray Skull Degenerate. What's going on, man? He said, drive by the way. Hi, y'all. I'm on the night show. Okay, cool. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Quiet, dark room. Okay. I'm going to step away for a minute. I'll be right back. I'm going to go on mute. Oh, back at it. Back at it again. Back at it again. Back at it again. Okay, so back at it. All right. All right. Oh, appreciate it. Appreciate it. Yeah. So this is just another one, and we're gonna talk about. I wanted to talk about something. So the U.S. votes make daylights. That's a fortune. Okay. So with that top stories. Yeah, U.S. approves. Let's see what Reuters is talking about. Yeah, this is okay. United States approves a bill to make daylight savings time permanent. Washington, March 15th, yeah, Reuters, United States, Tuesday passed legislation that would make daylight saving more permanent starting in 2023, ending the twice annual changing of the clocks. They always want to show a damn video. I don't want that. And promoted. Oh shit. Okay, so okay, go down that. Okay. Promoted by supporters advocating the brighter afternoons, more economic activity, and the Senate approved the measures of the Sunshine Protection Act. I've heard of this law, SPA, Sunshine Protection Act, unanimously by voice vote. The House of Representatives, which has held committee hearing on the matter, must still pass the bill before it can go to President Joe Biden to sign. Right. So, and then the White House has not said whether Biden supports it. As a spokesman for the House Speaker, Nancy Pelosi declined to say if she supports the measures, but said she was reviewing it closely. Senator Marco Rubio, one of the bill sponsors, said supporters agreed the change would not take place until November 2023. Okay, that's next year. After input from airlines and broadcasters. So you have another year of the going the clocks back and all that. Okay. They're gonna do it next year. So the change will help enable children to play outdoors later and reduce seasonal depression, according to supporters. Oh, here we go. Yeah, seasonal depressions. Yeah. You know what it is? Science done took over the economics. I already know where America's going. Yeah. We're in that direction. Tech, 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 tech. We can't deny the depression part. This is why people don't want to talk about it. It's a sensitive topic, but it's actually it could be black boys, it could be anybody, no matter what color the children is. But black boys particularly, yeah, that this can help them well if they parents do the right thing, which is a lot of bad parenting on all races, really. I've seen that a lot in Georgia. But this shit right here, they're trying to do something, but I don't know if that's gonna be the future. But they gotta look at stuff like this. But these niggas ain't gonna talk about this stuff. Step aside. Step aside. Y'all talking about pussy all day. We gotta stop talking about shit that don't matter. This matters right here. This is how you gonna live your life. If y'all have kids or grandchildren, this stuff right here. If they live in the United States, now if they live overseas, that's cool. Shout out to the ones that's living overseas, being great parents. But this right here, y'all should be reading it because that's standard around the world. So America's trying to compete with the world again, finally. So other world's laughing at you. Now you're doing this. Well, Democrats try to fix shit. And Republicans, they try to say they fix shit. No, they don't. They just want more money. Quite scared because I experienced that in the workplace. They just give you money and they ain't gonna help you. That's a Republican for you. I don't trust neither party, but they do that. It depends on what type of deals you have with them. But anyways, we'll get back to it. I know this is the most important issue confronting America, but it's not one of those issues where there's a lot of agreement. Rubio said, if we can get this passed, we don't have to do this stupidity anymore. He says stupidity anymore. He sounds like a high school teacher when he talks. Pardon the pun, but this is an idea whose time has come, he added. The National Association Convenience Store opposes the change, telling Congress this month we should not have kids going to school in the dark. Uh-oh. On Sunday, most of the United States resumed daylight saving time, moving ahead 1 hour. But the United States will resume standard time in November. See, that's fucking with them. That's fucking with them right now. See, they're divided over this. Since 2015, about 30 states have introduced legislation to end the twice yearly changing of the clocks. With some states proposing, yeah, I forget those states too. We're gonna do some research on those. I ain't gonna do it tonight, but I'll do some in the future. But if y'all want me to research them, that's fine. I can't remember off the top of the head, but if I see them in the article, we'll talk about it. We'll get there. We're proposing to do if any neighboring states do the same. But the House Energy and Commerce Committee held a hearing on the issue last week when the Representative Frank Pallone Paulon and the committee's chairman said the loss of that 1 hour of sleep seems to impact us for days. Afterwards, it also can cause havoc on the sleeping patterns of our kids and our pets. Paulon backs ending the clock switching, but has not decided whether to support daylight or standard time as the permanent choice. Most people prefer standard time. Most people prefer standard time in the United States. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Most people prefer standard time. A lot of people don't like daylight savings time. It's kind of like most countries around the world always had a daylight standard time. We're gonna call this daylight standard time. Our standard time is old school, but but space time continuum. I'll talk about that in brief on Sunday Madness. I used to read about the space time continuum, and time is man made. By the way, that's a whole nother story. I can get in depth with that later, probably Sunday. But this we're gonna stick to this right now. That's the thing with me. When we talk about things, we get in motion with it, and we understand that this stuff is like it could be man-made, but most people prefer standard. But you got a lot of other people like daylight too. It depends on where you're at. Depends on where you're at. And I think Arizona's gonna stay the same. At the hearing of Beth Malo, director of Vanderbilt's sleep division, that's in Nashville, argued daylight savings time makes it harder to be alert in the morning. Says it is like living in the wrong time zone for almost 8 months out of the year. Oh, here we go with the complaints. Pallone cited a 2019 poll that found 71% of Americans prefer to no longer switch their clocks twice a year. See, that's the argument right here. So they're gonna be arguing about that for years to come. But yeah, I wouldn't be arguing. I mean, to me, daylight saving times. Here's the trick with daylight savings time for me, my experience. If you go to bed in a decent hour, I sleep 4 hours a day. Probably around night or whatever. I balance my sleep out and I sleep good, quiet as kept. And you get your hours in. And then when you get your time to sleep, you just do that. But if you don't sleep, yeah, you do get you deserve weight gain. That is true. That's true to that. That's true to that statement. I do believe that. I've gained some weight when I was on off air on panels and shit. Even on long panels on there, I gained some weight. I'm not gonna lie. I would say last year and this year. I didn't gain weight in 2020. I wasn't doing all this. I'm gonna tell you this. I was outside in the state, but everything was closed off. I was in my own community outside last year. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I wasn't doing all this podcasting and shit like that. No, sir, wasn't doing that. I didn't have no content then. I had content on my old shit, but I ain't had nothing to talk about that's current. So I took the current events route and politics route, but that's what my channel is now. So I'm in what's in the now. So now I'm talking to you about this. I know what that's like, but the daylight thing, I have no issue with it. If it's fast and if you keep doing what you're doing and you focus on the next day, you're gonna get there. See, when you have the standard time, that's just extra sleep and you're just being lazy. See, standard time to me, when I think about it, that's laziness. I grew up around that for years. I don't even remember daylight savings time when I was that little. I remember it in the early 2000s when I was a teenager. And I'll say about 13 years old, about 01. 2000, not so much, but 2001, yeah, that's when I started learning about it during the 9/11 attack. But that's a whole nother story, about me, my own personal life. But yeah. So supporters said that the change would prevent a slight upstick in car crashes that typically occur around the time changes, and the point to studies showing a small increase in the rate of heart attacks and strokes soon after the time change. They argued the measure could help business such as golf courses that could draw more use with more evening daylight. It has repercussions on our economy and our daily lives, said Senator Ed Markey, another leading sponsor. Daylight savings time has been in place nearly all the United States since the 1960s, but after being first tried in 1918, which is true. It was first tried in 1918. I told you it came from World War One. I was right. I was right. I said this 2 years ago on the Brain Trust and everywhere else about daylight savings time. It did came in World War One, and I knew about this research in 2018 when I was in the workplace. And I'll tell you why it was like that. And the reason they kind of stopped and they experimented, they waited to the 60s to do it. See that right there shows you it's man made. Time is man made. It's a lot of shit going on back then. It was different. So we already had the standard time after the year, and they cut it off and brought it back in the 60s. So we already had it before. So people like the daylight saving, they like the new times. That's the 21st century shit we on. So time was used during the World War II and adopted it again in 1973. They adopted it again in 73 in the 70s. Here we go. In a bid to reduce energy use because of an oil embargo repealed a year later. But the bill would allow Arizona and Hawaii, which do not observe daylight saving time, to remain on standard time, as well as American Samoa and Guam, the North Marina Islands, Puerto Rico, and United States Virgin Islands, which is true. So what we just read is the Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico, Marina Islands. Marina Islands. Yeah, Anna Islands. Northern Marina Islands, in particular, my fault. Northern Marina Islands, Samoa, Guam, yeah, American Samoa, and things like that, and then Hawaii and Arizona. So that's factual. They understand it. So yeah, that's it. That's from Reuters. You can read that as well. So this is what it is. This is what people is complaining about, and they're complaining about it in much terms and so much in posts. We're just going to see what's what. So I know people are not going to talk about it as much. So, you know what I mean? Because that's what it is. Yeah, it's an hour in. So we're going to extend this even more. So I'm going to get my 2 hours in. So I ain't going to be on this that long. So, but you know what I'm saying? Because I normally don't drop links like that. So y'all can talk or whatever. But, you know, if y'all have any questions, and we'll talk about it. States without daylight savings time 2022 world population. Okay. See, okay, we got it right here. And show you an advertisement and shit. I don't care about that. States without daylight savings time. Um Arizona and Hawaii are the only two states without daylight savings time. They showing these two right here. Everybody else observes daylight savings time. Alaska and all these other places, they observe it. Georgia's observed, Tennessee. See, they have Georgia this way and that. That's how this is a fake American map, y'all. That's how they look like. They try to say Jersey, Pennsylvania, New York. That's because of the turnpike. But if you saw the actual map, Tennessee's right on the dead level. Alabama's on this side, and Mississippi, they're right next to each other. If you saw how long the state was, you'll see. This is like a diamond map or octagon map, whatever you want to say. So yeah, this is one of those maps you see in a small reading. Spring forward, fall back, of course. They show you right here. It's a small reading. So Hawaii, it's 2022 pop. That's Arizona 7,640,796 people. That's the population 2022. Hawaii's got 1,401,709. Okay, 401,709 people. So they have 1,401,709 people. So Arizona's got 7 million people. So right there, you know, you want to talk about the world population views. I got this right here. I'm not gonna read the small shit. You already know the deal. So you know what it is. Let's go on, TC Killer. What's going on, man? T Church in the building. One of our fellow villains. Our villains. So yeah, as we should. So we talk about this a lot, and we're just gonna be here. Yeah, they talk about it. They said affect your heart rhythm. Oh, it's got the video. My fault. I didn't want to. Yeah. Let me quit that. Let me quit that because they gonna try to say, hey, you played the fucking video. No, I didn't. You played the fucking video. No, I didn't. Faces trouble in the house in the hill. We'll read that in a minute. I'm just gonna talk to y'all for a minute. We're gonna get to that in a minute. So yeah, I dropped those links for y'all. This right here, I believe, yeah, world population review.com state ranking state without daylight savings time. That talks about Arizona and Hawaii. And this is the other one, making daylight permanent, Reuters. And then the other link I dropped for y'all is quartz.com. And then what a permanent daylight savings time means for Americans. Shouts out to the advisor for that information, man. I had a discussion with my pops and we was talking about it, in discussion, on the phone, whatever. And we was talking about it, and he's talking about the states is like that in population. But I think most people live in Arizona because of allergies and stuff. He said that's very true because there ain't that many trees. They cut their shit. But it gets cold in the desert. I wouldn't live in Arizona, period. I mean, it's a nice state, but I wouldn't live there. It's certain things to do in AZ, but I wouldn't live there. You can make a community and life there, but I wouldn't live there long term. I wouldn't, because over time, people don't want to live out west like that. Let's keep it real. Most people would rather live the Midwest sometimes. I mean, California is nice, but the problem with California is economics and things like that. So there's other places live better than that. But most people rather live overseas, quiet as kept. It's just things got to change first, and legislation and things like that nature. So I can say it like this: when you talk about daylight savings time, and you talk about stuff like this matters to most of the time, because some people, when you think independently, this is the type of topics I talk about. And what I do is I try to get away from the typical gender politics and bullshit, the circle jerk conversations, and the double talk and speaking for dudes like this. This is more important than that shit about the other shit. We'll get to that shit. That's why I have the Daily Thursday Network for. And we talk about niggas is inconsistent and what they're not focused on, but we still cook them and everything. But we were just reporting on the news what they're doing. But their subscribers tell on themselves. Just listen to them what they say in the super chats. That's what I'm gonna start doing. When I get a screenshot, I want that super chat. I want that super chat. Damn the host. Why you highlight that? But that's his subscriber base. And they love this type of content. So it sells. Fuckery sells. I said fuckery will always sells on YouTube. If you it has a 3 to 5 lifespan. I'm gonna tell you that right now. It don't last long. The next person will replace you. I've seen that many times where I came back to these certain spaces, but certain black spaces, I realized that politics don't be talked as much. I'm the only one talking about it, and I think it's good to talk about it. How to change your lives and structure your shit, going against the grain. But you do it the right way. They try to say this shit will be obsolete. No, it won't. You can have a discussion and just bring it out the best. People gonna bring it back into relationships. I already know what they're gonna do, but the solution is when you're gonna do it. And some people don't do content like that. So I can talk about various things besides politics. That's easy. And I'm glad I'm doing this new Thursday series. This is a spring edition. Thursday Thrills, we'll talk about that as a what you say, like a segment. But shouts out the advisor. He gave me the Derelict News Network segment, but then it turned into DTN. I want to do my own thing, but shouts out to him again. And that's gonna be my Thursday content for the spring. But the Thursday Thrills, we're gonna add the dereliction news part also in Thursday Thrills. We're gonna get the best screenshots you ever seen on big YouTubers, small YouTubers that agree with each other of glorified echo chambers. We're gonna pick guys that's worthy to talk about. And then you just look at the followers, and then you look at small YouTubers. Are they thinking the same way? Other sports channels. We're gonna get the one with the Aboriginal group. We're gonna get them. We're gonna get their asses too. They talking about that indigenous shit, the feds wearing shit. So it's no hate on those guys, but I see the comments. I heard this shit 10 years ago. So everybody's an equal opportunity over here. Everybody said, why is he talking about that? Well, we're talking about the nigga shit that goes on in the chat rooms, super chats and shit. That's what I look for. I look for who's saying the right shit or the wrong shit. But it's appropriate. It's a segment. So the Thursday thrills with that one, if we bring that one back, that's gonna be like we'll start in the 30 minutes and we'll cut it somewhere around I'll see how much time I got. I'll cut it around probably the hour so because I'm trying to kill some clock. I'll do that. But the one I'm gonna do for DTN, it's gonna start on the 40-minute, and I'll go in on an hour and we'll explain every screenshot. The first three it's no need to explain, but the Saint the Center, I'll explain those two. But the first one we're not gonna explain. We already know the big homie's a waste. She ain't getting she's getting one free publicity and that's it. But the rest of them, we're going to explain detail why people look at this collab as a big power move. But we're going to laugh at the shit too at the same time. But dude has been exposed by Duke the Don. So hope he's listening and things like that. We're not worried about that shit. Quiet as kept. Because a lot of people, they just want to be on that bullshit, bro. And that's just not Vi's and whatever people is thinking. We just got to do what we got to do. So when we talk about content, man, you look at the actual content that people are selling to you. So that's the thing about me doing this series. This is every other Tuesday. If you see Embrace being an independent thinker, it used to be an open discussion. I used to open the panel up. I'll bring that back probably. Okay, so since we're going to kill it in the summer, I'll probably open it up so around May again. I'll drop the link. They said, why is he dropping the link at the end of this one? Because this is every other Tuesday. I can talk about different topics y'all want, and if y'all want to discuss it, we'll drop it there, and that's it. So no bullshit, no trolling, but I'm not gonna tolerate that this year because we're gonna talk about some real shit, and we'll talk about how people's treating themselves in the spring. So you know what I'm saying. But we'll get in these topics more often. But this one right here is a feast right here. So daylight saving time changes the faces of trouble in House. Talking about the House representatives. Okay, legislation to make a daylight saving time permit passed Senate last week. They talk about the rubber stamp. Okay, leaders, we're gonna skip down that. We read some of that in other articles. Okay, leaders on both sides of the aisle have made it clear they are not in a rush to act in the legislation, with some citing and focus on the crisis unfolding in Ukraine. See, they focus on Ukraine right now. See, America wants that money. They want that war money. I try to tell you, military-industrial complex. Here we go. As well as the need of the further review from members before taking up the proposal. And though the idea has enjoyed bipartisan support across Congress, it is the path the lower chamber is uncertain, as a few members have begun to call for more research into the proposed measure before signing on to the push. Representative Parmelia Yavapai, Parmelia Yavapai, Democratic at Washington, told The Hill on Friday that while she has supported doing away with the semi-annual time change in the past, she's gotten a mixed reactions from her constituents. Her constituents, from her constituents over the idea. But I've been hearing a lot about this from my constituents recently. She said recently, because we're in Seattle. It is so dark, she said. So if we make okay, I'll read that again. So if we make gonna be dark until like 9 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, 9 o'clock in the morning. Talking about 10 o'clock in the morning. I think my dad said this to me in conversation. He said they have to wait till 10 o'clock when it gets in the morning. Let's see. That's based off whoever lives in the Asian time zone, y'all can answer that in the chat. Is that a connection between that and the equator and our equator in America? Because it's connected to those states too, based off sunlight. Because I know Japan's in the daytime right now at that time, and they in the dark in the morning. That's going to be very interesting. The sun is unique. I don't know how it moves, but it's unique. That's a scientific question. If y'all put it in the chat. Oh, that's a lot of caffeine. A lot of that shit. That's gonna keep me up for a minute. I've been hearing a lot about this stuff, Dark. Okay, I just read that. Okay, 9 o'clock in the morning. Okay, yeah, we talked about this earlier in the day. Dude, Yavapal said she thinks having one time zone is just easier. She adds that she wants to pay attention to what people are saying, while also nothing concerns that some share about the potential impact proposed change could have on learning. Pressed by his stance on the proposal, Representative Al Green, is that his name? Al Green? Wow. Okay, a politician, not the singer, y'all. Democratic Texas stressed that the need for additional evidence before taking a position. I'm going to ask my staff for some empirical studies about this, he said. You hear the word empirical, not empirical data. Fuck them niggas. But yeah, in the remarks of the Hill of Friday, Representative Hakeem Jeffries in New York, head of the House Democratic Caucus, said he assumed the legislation will be more broadly discussed both by the relevant committees and within the caucus sooner rather than later. Different members have articulated different perspective. We'll have to come to some consensus. We were unexpectedly sent the bill by the Senate now. We're trying to absorb it, Jeffrey said. The legislation is pressed by unanimous consent in the Senate on Tuesday. Any senator can use the procedure to fast track passage of a bill without a vote, but it only takes one senator to object and block it. Stafford for Senator Mark Rubio, Republican Florida, lead sponsors of the measure and said his office ran what's known around Capitol Hill as hotline on legislation. Last week, informing all senators' office that the Florida Republican was seeking to ask for unanimous consent for the bill to pass. The staffer said Senator Roger Wicker, Republican Mississippi, but has an objection to the measure and they expected him to object to its passage. Rubio delayed trying to pass the bill until Tuesday, the staffer noted, to give Wicker, who had fight delay in time to get back to Washington. But the Tuesday afternoon, when we have gotten everything scheduled, Wickard has sort of what said he was going through. So by the time that the Senator Rubio went down to the floor Tuesday afternoon, he felt pretty confident that it was going to pass, the staffer said, but the Hill has reached out to Wicker's office for a comment. Under the newly passed proposal, daylight saving time would be made permanent starting November 2023, meaning most will change their clocks at that time of the year, will no longer have to. Rubio has Rubio has pressed for the House to take swift action on the legislation and called has also been echoed by Representative Vern Buchanan, Republican Florida, who says he's pushing for a companions bill in the House to pass soon. Buchanan told the Hill on Friday that he's confident the legislation could see passage this year, while also acknowledging recent comments from Speaker Nancy Pelosi, Democratic of California, expressing an openness to the idea as a good sign. But I've heard the speaker, a lot of the people are open minded to it. But the Buchanan said before adding he thinks it's likely the lower the chamber would see a strong vote in favor of the measure it is brought to the floor. But Representative John Yarmouth, Yarmouth, Democratic Kentucky on Friday afternoon cast out on any chance to House would immediately pass the measure, telling the Hill that they can't imagine the bill being a fast track the same way in the lower chamber that it were recently had in the Senate. I don't know that many members have really thought it through, Yarmouth said, adding that most members were kindly of blindsided by how quickly the Senate approved to the proposal. But his anticipates much more opinion on the matter in the near future as a public interest around the push has grown. Now, what will happen is you will get all this outpouring of studies, and people say, "Yeah, we agree you shouldn't change twice a year." But what is the standard time on or daylight or the daylight time? And then you'll get a farm bureaus and the parents associations. He said, while predicting the longer it goes, the chances of passage decline. It will get more controversial the longer it goes. Yarmouth said he also recalled his past experience as congressional staffer in the early 1970s when he said the time to change emerged as an emotional issue. In 1973, President Nixon signed legislation to put the nation on daylight savings time for about 2 years, in an effort he said was intended to help meet the needs of an energy crisis at the time. But the measure was met with immediate pushback, not no longer after an enchantment prompting two nations to go back to the semi-annual time change before the 2 years were up. David Perot, author of The Seeds of Daylight, Curious and Contentious Story of Daylight Savings Time, told The Hill that while the idea has been popular within what it was proposed, much of the public grew of the dislike during the winter. All of a sudden, everybody realized that they didn't like it at all. It made the mornings very, very dark. All of the sunrises were an hour later than it would have been, Perot said. Many people were getting up into the pitch dark, going to work in the pitch dark, which they disliked. And they also disliked sending their kids to school in the dark, having to walk on dark country roads. So it became very unpopular very quickly. According to National Conference of the State of Legislators, over the dozen states have passed over intact legislation seeking to making daylight saving time permanent in recent years, including Idaho, Louisiana South, and Carolina, and Utah. Utah? They mentioned Utah. We need to stop talking about Utah. Leave Utah alone. They talking about Utah. I need to quit being silly. They talking about Utah. They talking about Utah Utes. Oh Lord. Yeah, I'll look at that later. Okay, who has been pushing for time for years? Driving force behind his campaign was Florida legislator passed legislation, the same move, but in order to take effect, Rubio's office said a change in federal status is required. I am in the Sunshine State. We want more sunshine. So we're going to continue to work on it. And maybe we get out of here sooner the better. But we are building a monumental for it right now, he said. Contribute to the report, which is uploaded 8:31 a.m. Okay, so this is the Hill. Okay, so we're gonna give you the Hill. Okay, I'm gonna see how many times we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about daylight saving times. It's a little segment. So we're gonna speak on. I'm gonna paste it. See, I can read a link, and we're gonna stop it right here. We're gonna stop the screen share. And yeah, it's been an hour, so we're gonna knock this off. So yeah, we talked about daylight savings time and its preference, but if y'all feel froggy or whatever, you can ask or whatever. But yeah, daylight savings time is a real thing. It's a real thing, and people just don't like to go back and stay on it forever. Like I think it mentioned in the 70s, right? And they mentioned in the 60s. They tried it in different decades. It started in 1918 during the Spanish after World War I, and then the Spanish flu around this time, and all this shit. Just like what you see with the C virus and the pandemic. This is interesting times we're in. So this is a repeat of history, y'all. And like I said, You're seeing a lot of changes in the world, and I had a discussion with my pops about this, and he said Arizona, all them don't like to be in the dark. See, that's in the Pacific. Is in the Pacific time. Arizona is right next to California. Like in the dark. No one gives a fuck about y'all. They don't, because y'all on the equator on the end, and then Japan's got daylight on the other side. Think about it. It depends on where you at. You know how the sun, when the sun rays level. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got a scientific proof how the sun is connected to the Earth like that, because it's further away from the planet, but how the rays connect to the planet, it's kind of weird. It's kind of like astronomy, like astronomy talk, like this stuff. See, I haven't took astronomy. I took some in the technology class, but I never took it as a class separate in middle school. I wish I would have, but astronomy is kind of like more scientific. A lot of people ain't gonna get into that. And so this nigga's getting into science and galaxy talk. But nah, this is real science, man. You get into that, a lot of people say, there ain't no space out there. But we're gonna leave that conversation alone. We'll have some pictures that probably talk about that Sunday. How the equator works and time and timelines and shit. We're gonna talk about that. It's different when you're over there. You know what I'm saying? But only person we know, the advisor, he lives in Japan. He knows that time very well. It's very different over there. So I don't know the Asian countries, because see, we got some brothers that travel to see that side. So I'm very curious, how is it different? And then California's still in the dark, and they trying to say they in the next day when we are in the next day, and they on the same thing we are. So we're 4 hours difference from them. So Dre is only 14 hours difference from me. So that's a different time period. It's a time. You know what I mean? It's weird, but it's the truth. But you gotta deal with it. That's life, That's how we gotta live sometimes. I was saying, we can't deal with life like that. We can't deal with that. I said, yeah, but you gotta deal with that how you can. So, as what I'm saying, that's basically what you want to see, long-term effects. And that's just how it is. Some people just gonna look at it different. And basically, you interested in what you're hearing, right? So people gonna look at it from so many words. So yeah, this is embracing being an independent thinker. You talk about various things. You talk about what your interest is and whatever. I talk about current events and politics, of course. I talk about sports every now and then, sports news and drama. This series is kind of like, think outside the box. Stop thinking the typical conversation we hear about relationships. It's okay to talk about them in context, but just be realistic. Don't use fake data and things like that. There's a reason it's like that. There's solutions to fix them. It's not that serious. And if you don't like that person, just move forward. That's what I've done. I've done that years ago and realized that I can have anybody I want if I wanted to, but I choose not to. That's my choice. Everybody has a choice. And the choice is, if you choose not to deal with that person, don't deal with them. That's just common sense. And most people don't have common sense on the internet. They take their problems, right? I'm gonna give you an example. They take their problems. They go on these panels, they go online. This is all apps of social networks, video sharing sites, and social medias, like they call them social medias, right? They go on here and they be bullshitting and lying to the people and have these personas, right? But then you got these fake personas like the dox people. I don't like that shit. But that's a whole nother story. But I'm not gonna get into that. But these losers don't understand, because they ain't got no real personal ideas and hobbies, and they don't have no friends that can vouch for them, where they come from. Do they fuck with them in real life? Or family or friends? Keyword, the two F's, family and friends. Do they mess with you? See, my family can vouch for me. Certain friends back home can vouch for me. See, I have nothing to prove. They come up and they knew who I was, we'll be talking. So, yeah. And if they find out I have a YouTube channel, they'll be amazed what I be talking about. And they'll be like, what the fuck? Yeah, I talk to these individuals. And there's some cool people in my circle that I'm cool online. And I talked to several people. I talked to lots of people when I was on panels 2 years ago. So it's nothing new. And I talk to the best people. They say they heavy hitters. I talk to the best. I've done it. Like I'm one of them. Yeah, I track heavy hitters every now and then. And then you start looking at your channel, it bumps up in the algorithm. To me, I don't give a shit about the algorithm. Algorithm determines how we're gonna do, how we're gonna move forward and shit. But that's a whole nother spiel on that. You know what I'm saying? You can't worry about what the numbers are doing. I say fuck the numbers. Shouts out to the captain saying that. Yeah, I'm gonna say fuck the numbers from now on because at this point, I come to the realization in my heart, I know this. I'm just gonna be the bad guy. I'm just gonna be the righteous villain, the most dastardly villain you're ever gonna see. I'm gonna get on my shit and start dusting niggas. I already took the gloves off. I'm ready. I'm ready to be petty, and I'm gonna throw a roast shot at niggas. I'll do my vlog streams and talk bad about them. And I'm not stopping, man. Y'all ain't gonna stop me. I ain't worrying about these losers that's crying for their little guys. Please don't talk about our God. Please don't talk about him. I don't care if he has annihilator beard. Me lardies. Fuck that nigga. But anyways, you know what I mean? But see, that's that idol worship. We gotta talk about idol worship again. I might make a stream about idol worship. Say no to idol worship. And that's on YouTube, in the churches, in idols and shit. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about that. I might talk about that on a separate stream one day. We're gonna talk about that shit. That shit is just wild. You niggas be on some wild shit, but that's what independent thinking series is. We talk about shit that's wild, but we try to think outside the box and give you the proper solutions to move forward. Because a lot of people they be on some bullshit on here, so you can't get mad what people be on. We just got to deal with it as we can. So basically, you're just looking at it like this. Most people just on here to bullshit around and don't care about their fucking audience. And you have glorified echo chambers like I talk about. See, I don't use my shit as an echo chamber. Y'all can talk to me in the chat. Y'all can dispute what I say. If you ask for a link, we can talk. I can do that too, but I'm not gonna dare somebody hit the link. No. If you ask for it, if you want a discussion, we can talk. It's what you want to do. I can talk to you in the chat and don't disagree. Now, if you don't have a setup like I do, okay, I'll talk to you in the chat. If you type fast, I'll refute everything you say. I ain't got time to argue with you all day, but I'll debate you on it. I'll answer every question. See, I can do that. I can do that in the chat room. I talk to my audience, unlike most niggas. So I'm not glorified like that. You know what I'm saying? But if you want the link to talk to me about any subject or anything, it could be about, sometimes these Wednesday topics and these topics, when we talk about some serious shit, we'll have that discussion and just look at people in general. So we can have that. That's for people that's new on this channel. If I ever get challenged, I accept. And I bring links on your ass. And I'll discuss shit. What you think about this? And I'll put it in the back chat so you can read it. Anything you want to talk about, because that's what independent thinking series is. I'm not talking it from historical shit. I'm talking about currently in these black spaces that y'all don't have various topics to talk about. Y'all so goddamn one-dimensional, it's not even funny. Y'all haven't changed since 10 years ago and 15 years ago. The shit that y'all talk about is 15 to 10 years ago. I done seen when I came on YouTube. That shit's old, bro. And YouTube's approaching 20 years. 20 years on a website, y'all ain't learned nothing. Y'all ain't learned a goddamn thing. And that's the thing about you niggas. Y'all don't have a variety or verse thinking. Your thinking is poor critical thinking skills. Like the legendary Wacky World old said, yeah, they've always had poor critically thinking skills. Our people just suffer a lack of knowledge. We used to say that years ago. I used to teach like that years ago. I kind of stopped and say, fuck all these niggas because they ain't worthy. That's why I became the bad guy, man. I learned to be one. Took years. I did that in the workplace. Select few. I was dropping jewels then on breaks and shit. Building with niggas. After that, came back, saw this shit. It was bullshit. I tried it with the brain trust. I tried it with them niggas. That didn't work. tried it with the third shift with Cuda, but you have a lot of people that's panelists act like bitch ass niggas every now and then. I got in arguments with them, didn't like their ass either. There's only a handful of people I did like, but the rest of them niggas that was talking that weird shit, the incel shit, fuck out of here, bro. Sometimes I don't respond to they retarded ass at all. The one young person I liked on that panel over the third shift, yeah, we got a little small argument. But the second time I talked to him again, he came on the panel, and I think Dre was on this panel too. This is like months ago of last year. His name was Garris. Shouts out to that young brother. That young brother is gonna be all right. He has enough sense to know. When I was his age, I was doing content 10 years ago with the second channel. My first channel I was doing the same thing, young and doing exciting and I'll say some nigga shit and some entertainment. I was on that type of time with my old channel. My old channel kind of was going that direction, kind of like what you saw in One Jesus channel. That shit died on me when I got into this political and this radical shit. Because I always had it in me when I was younger. And that's what got me burnt. And then when I created this channel, I stuck to that. And I took that fucking risk. That's when my content became evergreen years later. It took a 6-year process to do that. It's not easy. People ask me how you get those 1,000 subscribers. I earned it by not doing content. That's my strategy. And I did that not giving a fuck. I lay the content out and I leave this shit and I come right back. That's who the fuck I am. So I learned that based off this channel. My other channel was going to be different. I'll be consistent all the time, but I realized, man, fuck this shit. When I got flagged, it's gone now. So, and the reason I referenced that this channel is a testament how I survived. So this channel is a variety of things, but if I create another one, it's going to be something similar to my first channel. I'll find a niche in that market, and I know what it is. I think it's sports and tech. I'll talk about tech and sports a lot because that's like my other hobbies I do like. But when you talk about the political stuff, I keep it on this channel. Current events and things like that, I keep it right here. Governmental shit, I keep it right here. The other shit, sports, yeah, I'll talk about that all. I could talk about sports for hours and look at stats and graphs all day because I used to play ball. We'll talk about hockey. You want to talk about that? Watch a couple of games. I don't give a shit, bro. Football, you name it. We'll go line for line, man. It is what it is. But that's what an independent thinking series is. We talk about various things. It's multifaceted, but it ain't gonna be just one thing. No, you got to spread that shit out if you do a channel or two. I was thinking about doing another channel, but I'm not gonna rush into it this year or next year. I gotta have a right setup to be in a setting like that. If I had an extra computer, I'll do that, and I'll let y'all know in the future because I'm not in a rush right now. I gotta have the right setups to have that channel. It's a process. I'm trying to tell you. I said this a lot. I'm gonna keep this channel for my real shit. I'll still do the Thursday, Wednesday streams if I'm still here, and Sunday streams always here. The days I don't do streams, I do it on the other channel. Like if I say like Monday streams, probably do them in the morning, Friday mornings, and like that. I don't do Saturday streams. I just really don't. What's the point? Everybody's gonna take the views. Depends on the audience you get. So Saturdays is like, ugh, you know what I mean? But yeah, man, it's just like people just gonna be on that type of time. But you got to deal with it. Some people just gonna be who they are. Like one thing about me, I'm sky watching the Devin Wade show. It's a good show. It's like a little podcast show. They talk about various things as well. Yeah, they talk about relationships, but they also talk about uh urban stuff in their areas in New Jersey, Philly, and they bring on hell of a guest. They talk about what they want to talk about. And they talk about the addiction versus drug addiction. Good topic, 100 years to a millionaire. And good topic. But but you got certain individuals wanting to be like that. But quiet as kept, everybody can't do that. On shouts out to the brother, Kuda. Everybody can't be that, man. You gotta look at it that way. So the whole point is you just gotta do that, man. And that's just what it is. So, yeah, I'm sky watching Duke now. I didn't know he was live. I'm gonna say what's up to him. Dude's all right. Yeah, Duke to Don is good. Drake. I'm gonna go back to Devin Wade. So don't y'all worry. Don't y'all worry. Damn, Melody's live. What the fuck's going on, yo? What's going on? Damn, everybody's live. Shit. Let me say what's up to Melody. Let's say what's up to Melody, y'all, because I know people. Shouts out to Ruby. I'm gonna say what's up to Melody, and shouts out to Classic Ruby over there. Yeah, man. Like, shouts out to Melody. She ain't on that bullshit. Let's see who's live on my shit. I was looking at live streams and shit. Duke to Don, okay. Wait. Yeah, man. It's just ain't that many. Oh God. So got people live. Ty City live. Everybody live. Oh, the captain's got sword practice. Okay. Let me share that shit. I'll look at that shit in a minute. Yeah, shouts out to the captain. I look at your captain. I'm gonna look at your shit after I get done with this stream, man. I'm gonna see what Duke's talking about. Yeah, shouts out to these channels, man. I had to cut some channels off today, y'all. I had to cut some bitch ass niggas on channels that I used to be subscribed to. I had to cut them off last night. It's what we call it is spring cleaning. I did a lot of spring cleaning on my subscription. I did on certain individuals. I ain't gonna mention their names. Y'all know what's up. I had new channels on my shit. And I got a lot of 9-watch videos just looking at some tech shit. I'm just gonna say it right now. Tech shit. I'm a techie guy myself. The specs and shit. I'm kind of weird in that way, right? And the thing is, that's just my little hobbies. I got other hobbies too. I got that. Um, what you call it? Sports. I need to get back into shape with some basketball, but I ain't got the proper shoes. I need to get some shoes bad. Just get on the court. I wish I had a basketball so I could just go out there and shoot for a day and get some shots in and get my strength back. I still got my dumbbells, so I can get some calisthenics and some weights in and leg training and all that. I need to get back in shape, man. I would love to be outside in the summer. I need a basketball bad, some shoes too. Still, if I got the dunks and the layups, I want to try a shot, start spiking and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna just fuck around a little bit. Yeah. If I had a camera, I'd show you I used to do layups and shit. Man, I wish there was a indoor gym I can play too. But fuck that. I'm just gonna do outside on the street and just be proper with it. Cause I started out on those streets, black tops, indoor. Used to bust niggas in the head. They bust me in the head. We used to fight on the court, arguing and shit. I'll never forget indoor gym. We used to have open gym in high school when I didn't make the varsity team 3 in a row. I was good on defense, but it was too much politics. The high school was trash. And next thing you know, I was decent. A lot of niggas went up in the rim. They got elbowed every time. I got elbowed in the face a bunch of times. I didn't cry about it. I threw elbows back. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Yeah, see, things like that. I miss them days, man. I miss the days when you actually played the game and smack people on the floor and shit. I love that shit. At this age, I still got it a little bit. I think I still got it. I just need the proper equipment and shorts and shit. I got a lot of gear, clothing gear for that. I just need some shoes. I need some proper athletic shoes so I can just bust a nigga's head wide open. Just one good last time. I have one of my long sleeve shirts. Start fucking niggas up, lay up and just was just a shot and start busting on them. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. I could do that shit, man. Like I would love to do that. He said that nigga trying to bust somebody in the head. You know. Oh man, it's fucked up. But you know, you gotta be that nigga. You gotta be that filthy nigga. This nigga right here. This fucking nigga right here. Man, fuck that nigga, man. He done throw an elbow on me. I remember when niggas start arguing, man, said, man, fuck this punk ass nigga. I'm gonna whoop your ass. I'm like, nigga, you ain't gonna do shit. We be fighting, hitting each other's sides and shit. I miss them days. I used to play in 104 degrees heat in church camp. I want to tell you a story about me. I was in Tipton County in the West Tennessee area. It's right close to Shelby County in Memphis. It was a Christian, it was a Baptist, denominational Baptist church camp, Christian camp, right? It was a Christian camp, right? Church camp, right? I was playing with some Memphis niggas. We was playing 5-on-5 against my niggas from back home. Memphis niggas side with me. It was a guy that was a vice lord. His name was Cortez, right? And we was on the blacktop over there at the side of these church buildings in the church camp, right? And it was 104 degrees that day too. This was back in 2007 in the month of July. Month of July, I was in church camp, right? Motherfucker, it was 104 degrees and we did some damage. When we did damage, boy, woo, 360s, layups. I did windmills. I was acting a goddamn fool. And I was 6'5" at this time too. I was 6'3" in 2003. I was 6'3". I was 6'3" in 2003. I was at the age of 15, I was already 6'3". I already passed 6'2". Because in 8th grade in 20, I'll say 2001 to 2002, I was already 6'2". I already passed. I was 6'1" in 6th grade. So I was born 9 pounds, 14 and a half, almost 10 pounds. So technically, you know, my height came from my dad because my dad's 6'4". I forgot I told y'all about that. The ones that already know, but the ones that didn't know, he was 6'4". So he played sports. He loved baseball, and he had a father that was 6 foot, was a pastor. I think I told this to Dre and everybody else, but the ones I didn't tell you if y'all knew, yeah, I got the height from my father's side of the family. So me being, I was projected to be 6'6" or 6'7" or 6'8". Actually, I'm 6'5" and a half, close to 6'6". So that's a whole nother story. But I used to play ball. I play other sports too, but I didn't have the mental grip like a football player. I didn't like the wide receiver position. I had to play on defense as a safety, free safety, and things like that. But I didn't have the linebacker body. That's the problem. I just couldn't make it on the football team like that because football wasn't my thing. I used it in flag, touch, and all that stuff, and tackle in the snow. But outside of that, I just couldn't do it long term. Baseball would have been my thing, but I didn't have no coordination in that. I was okay in baseball. I wasn't the best. I'll tell you that right now. But baseball wasn't my thing. I didn't have the legs for it. I ain't had the stockiness for it. You know, you got to be a certain build. Hockey would have been my thing. I would have loved to play hockey if I learned my legs and scramble around and dance with the puck. I would love to play hockey. I regret doing it, but we had like a hockey or something like that. I think we had a hockey team one time and they canceled it in our school. I would love to play hockey. If I lived in Canada, I would love to play hockey. If I did wrestling, I would have did that too. But they banned that in our school because we accidentally hurt somebody and paralyzed them. But that's a whole nother story. So again, you know, sports was my thing growing up. And soccer, I hated soccer. Soccer was trash with what they call football and things like that. So we know what time it is and we just go what it is. And so we just do what we do. And we're gonna go back to Duke to Dawn. They talking about that Chris Brown shit. Oh, that's been discussed by Alvin Preach. I've heard that. So the Chris Brown thing, you know, the case, but we ain't gonna get into that. That's a whole nother story. And that's just what it is. So I'm gonna go back to Devin Wade because I know people ain't talking about nothing. Yeah, Ty City's arguing about that with Spiritual Hulk. I ain't gonna listen to that shit. After Devin Wade's done, you know, I'll switch to whoever. There's a lot of channels streaming right now. But shouts out to people that streaming. But I ain't stopping until probably, I'll say probably the next hour. Probably the next hour, because I'm gonna keep this 2 hours or whatever. Two hours. If y'all want me to go longer than 3 hours, we can talk about something else. Y'all can say something in the chat y'all want. So yeah, I got another hour. I could talk to y'all in 2 hours or more, like 2 hours and 30 minutes or something like that, and then end it right there. Keep it a minimum. Because I got a stream tomorrow about capitalism. We're gonna drop some knowledge on that. We're gonna talk about it. I don't know if I'm gonna open it up, but if someone asks, whoever asks, we can have that discussion as well. I mean, capitalism, I can make a series out of it. I can do part 2 and part 3. I'll do that. I'm willing to do that because I would love to touch on it. What my thoughts on capitalism, and if we talk about it, it's gonna be in the structural matter. But if people in the chat or whoever in the villains want to discuss that, we'll talk about that history. We're gonna talk about the history of it first, and then we're gonna talk about currently and things like that. Now, contractarianism, we're gonna get into, is it valuable in the 21st century? We're gonna talk about that as well. So I might have a question with that one. That's gonna be a 2-part one because I don't know if people's interested in that series. I think a lot of people wasn't interested in it, but it's gonna be, and we're gonna talk about contractualism, the social contract. We're gonna talk about that as well because a lot of people got emotional in the chat room. There was a one individual, he was off topic. I ain't got time for that bullshit. I'm not gonna argue with individuals and talking about reading stuff. Get out with that bullshit. I'm just dropping information. I stumble a few shit sometimes. I ain't perfect. I've read a lot. Sometimes I forget the words. It's been a while since I've read a lot of shit. I used to do that for years and I kind of stopped. It happens. I'm into other things. So you reread a lot of shit and you get practice over time. So yeah. Some people just need to chill out, man. Like, y'all can do this for yourself. Y'all don't have to watch me. It's that simple. Y'all can watch the replay and say, damn, he's saying this shit. Yeah. You do what you have to do. But for me in sports, I stuck with basketball for the school and shit like that, little leagues and things like that. But the other sports, I was okay in. I ain't gonna say I'm the best. I played all sports, try to test my size and my abilities, not just the size, but actually study the games of each sport. I'm a sports fanatic. I've always had the cards and everything. I collect a lot of sports cards myself. I still got some of them, legendary shit. I have a collection of that. So I still got them. And that's just it. So most people gonna look at it from another angle. So, you know, people ask me what was fun back then, and them days was fun. But shouts out to Juan G said about the Philly Fame TV. I told him, yeah, it's a great channel, man. If you watched Philly Fame TV, I watched them about 3 years ago. I knew about them years ago, but 3 years ago on this channel, I'll say 2019. I started listening to them. They had some good shit. They had a lot of old shit I've listened to. I've listened to a lot of great Philly battle rappers and things like that. I listen to a lot of East Coast battle rappers and some of my own in the South, whatever. Everybody else, Midwest. I'm familiar with the battle rap scene and rapping period. But I listen to different genres. I listen to reggae and everything else, house, you name it. I don't care for country. Rock music is okay. I used to do metal and other rock, the soft rock and all that shit. I was I listen to various music myself. I don't listen to that drill shit. Only drill rapper that I like, quiet as kept, is Keith Chief, Fredro Bang, and Yellow Beezy. That's it. Outside of that, I don't listen to everybody else. I'm sorry. I really don't care. I really don't care because I'm funny about music. I'm very picky, especially when it comes to rap and all that stuff. I don't like R&B and country music. I'll tell you that right now. I don't like none of it. The R&B artists that I kind of like, it's only a handful. I like soul music. I like soul. I don't like the term R&B and country. I just don't like neither one of them, to be honest with you. When I was younger, I thought I liked it. My grandmother used to like country. This is my dad's mom. And over time, when I got older, I said, man, I don't like this garbage. Same with R&B. I just didn't like it either. I'm just weird like that. I don't listen to that shit over time. I feel like the slow jams. Nah, I'm sick of that shit too. I grew up listening to that shit. I do the jazz and other shit, blues and all that. That's okay. But that's just me. I'm funny about certain things. So yeah, man. Yeah, we here. So 15 lights. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Yeah. 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 Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Yeah, appreciate y'all rocking with me, man. Like, yeah, because sometimes people are busy, they do things like that and they just come for fruition. So we're gonna do our thing, man. We're gonna do our thing. This is part 11. We're gonna do our part. So everybody's lit right now. So, if I was VA, man, he needs to calm down, bro. Like seriously, seriously, bro, you need to calm down with all this shit. Like that manosphere shit is gone to your fucking head, boy. He needs to. If I was him, he needs to stay in politics. If he likes to debate so much and be in the political, just stay in the politics lanes. Don't be in these spaces, these nigga spaces. They so dumb when it comes to politics. Don't be in spaces that are not conducive. Like if you're gonna say something, just say it. Like, bro, like don't come in here and just try to challenge niggas all the time. Like if TVA, you're smarter than that. I mean VA, VA, you're a lot smarter. You're a smart dude, right? If you want to talk about topics like any ideology, you should do that. I mean, the nigga shit, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. If I was him, I wouldn't even do that. You got a good channel, bro. You don't need to do that. That shit will that shit will drain the shit out you, bro. That shit will just fuck your shit up long term. But I'll step away for a minute, y'all. I'll be back. I'm gonna go on mute. I'm gonna throw something away. I'll be right back. Oh, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back again. All right, where was I? Where was I? Where was I? Yeah, yeah. I was gonna throw something away. Back at it again. But yeah, man, like that's what. If I was him, that shit will fuck up your content, man. Talking about that wild shit. That's why I troll Ramil sometimes. I call it the LBM Coliseum, but you niggas is wild, bro. Yeah, and that's just what it is. So But but I just look at it as crazy. But him talking that wild stuff and then try to mix it with politics, that's bad, man. He should be in the political realm. Be honest with you. Yeah. But black spaces trying to say the community, man, it's a waste. Especially these spaces, I wouldn't do it, bro. You too good for that. If you talk about content like that, there's other content creators you can fit right in that lane. Because I think his problem is he's stuck with that incel shit. See, manosphere, what you would say, so-called manosphere, I call them incels. They're the modern day incels. These guys, 2.0, 3.0, they're incels. They're pieces of shit. They're insurgents to me. I'm sorry. I lost respect for them last year, and they don't talk about real shit. This is why I talk about mindless topics. And this is a hard month for me. So this is March, and I learned from last year you can't deal with people that talks about the PPTs a lot. Talk about propaganda, prophecy tropes. I hate tropes. Period. They're one of the worst things, especially for black men. We should not be listening to dudes spewing bullshit and lying about who they are on the internet and things like that and conning people. And then try to expect people to like them long term. They the ones create these echo chambers and then they try to block a lot of people out. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes you just got to look at them like take them as a grain of salt. So you know what I mean. But I'm gonna go back to this face right quick. Let me switch it up for a minute. But yeah, I'm gonna switch it up for a minute. Yeah, that's the old staff that y'all was looking at in the skull and the body. I know y'all can't stand that, but yeah, I'm gonna get some 30 minutes in and talk to y'all so I can see. So I did some avatar switching around, and you're gonna hear me a lot more. So tomorrow I'm gonna do my thing again, same setup, and like I do, I'm gonna figure it out until I get the other shit set up next month and switch around and things. So I'm toying with my streams and the gear that I have, the same old shit. But then go back to my standard, my workhorse, and I tell people it is what it is. And that's just how it is. I'm not mad at anybody that don't use a lot of things. So people need to stop trying me, man. Like this internet shit is so easy. You can talk about various things what you want, put it in a broadcast, and then turn it into a podcast. I know podcast is not usually successful, and it get like that. I know people are coming in and out, so I'll make this point. I'm gonna get my 30 minutes in. So a lot of times when people get stuck in one spot, and I think I heard Kuda stream last night. I heard his stream last night, and it was talking about the same thing with fasting. Fasting, shouts out to fasting, but fasting ain't no profit. Fasting is just like another guy like us. I mean, he's seen this shit a few years. He's been here for years, but that's his viewpoint. Okay, I don't agree with everything he says, but he's valuable about overseas and things like that. Fasting is decent, but that manosphere shit, like, dude, we try to tell people, who cares? Like, me and Wacky see it, and a lot of people don't like Wacky because Wacky tells it like it is. He knew it's been gone. It's just everybody has a different perspective of looking at it. And a lot of people say that the space ain't dead. No, it's bullshit. It's been dead. Like, where you niggas been? They don't know nothing about that. We've said it died a long time ago. I knew it died 2 years ago. We let them niggas run it and let them tell it, trying to say it ain't dead. Bullshit. It's been dead. Y'all know what the fuck y'all talking about. Y'all listen to guys that never really produced shit. They was part of online community for 2015. They try to say that's history. No, it's not, motherfucker. History started in '07, and then the '08 was the new year of the original Manosphere. It started, and it had like a little moment. And yeah, it was 1.0, but the 1.0 was the original. It died in 2014. When the feds came around, they started knocking shit loose. So again, it's a repeat of history, man. Everything's a repeat. So people need to stop acting like they're brand new. But if you wasn't around when I had my first channel and then it got flagged the same year that this channel was created, you don't fucking understand how black YouTube was back then. I remember black YouTube was peaceful in '07. There was no nigga shit like that. That shit was not allowed. It's just like battle rap. And I saw an interesting clip with NH and his homeboys in Philly. There was some honorable men back then. But if you look back in that clip on Philly Fame TV, the recent upload, you can tell the era they came from. That's an era they came from. They came from an era that I grew up. There was respectability, and it's called Philly Fame. But if you watch NH and Johnny Mac reflect on Headshots versus Touch Money and Meek Mill diss and all that shit, the home projects in Philadelphia, that's a great example. See, back then, battle rap and other shit, the black shit that you see today, back in those days, that was real shit on YouTube. Even though if you was from those areas and if you saw it live, they did it live. They didn't really put the nigga shit on it on YouTube till the smartphone came. That's what killed everything. See, back then they would have got you. If you was from those areas, they would have got you. They would saw you on the video and found the block. And they found a way to get you. It took them weeks and 5 weeks to get you. Today they can get you in 5 days on a smartphone, based off of address and a phone number. Same with the police, man. They can get you. And a lot of street people will tell you if you ever interview one of them and talk to them in passing it or serve them as your customers, which I did as a barista, they told me straight up, oh, they get you on site, whatever. They told me about them police stories and shit like that. I used to serve cops too. And military people, they tell you they do that shit all the time, man. And then when I come back to these spaces, you got people who got those professions. Then you got several street dudes, but they're really not street dudes. They're street nerds that happen to be in the hood. And it's sad. And the spaces reduced a bunch of insurgents and vote sales and incels alike. So Obsidian birthed, aka Oblivion, birthed these niggas. He's another one I can't stand. And then you got this Mount Man dude trying to say he ain't one of them. No, you supported that shit. You was cool with that nigga. Y'all birthed these niggas. And then Slayer, aka O'Shea, dipped and said, fuck the manosphere. I don't blame him. But he's responsible too. All of them needs to hold that fire. This is their fault. This is not our fault because we don't have to do shit. You niggas can't clean it up. You're done. Even if you leave the shit, they still gonna blame your ass. Just get over it and move on. Quit being a bitch. Quit trying to say, oh, he did it. I ain't got nothing to blame. He did it. Them nigga did it. Them nigga did it. He done did it already. Fuck that nigga in the field. Fuck them villains. Fuck them niggas. That's what they saying right now. They mad at me for telling the truth. Like I was saying this shit before the villain sphere was created. Shouts out to me and the captain. Made this formation and everybody else putting time and effort to build this shit. But niggas need to understand we don't like your asses. We say this 1,000 times. No matter how much you slander us, y'all still wrong. Y'all still wrong. See, I understand old YouTube and modern YouTube where it was going. If you add money to this shit, it ain't gonna last. Only a select few make it. And Oblivion said this on DJ Kuda's stream. DJ Kuda had a stream with Oblivion, right? AKA Obsidian. Y'all know who I'm talking about. He said the average person makes 50,000 or 52,000 or 56,000 a year on YouTube, right? He's absolutely correct. Only the select few make that much, and probably more than that. If you're not a Marquise Brownlee up to PewDiePie and the people up above, you're not those niggas. It's just what it is. Half of his subscribers, I'll say half of his million subscribers, the thousands support him. The rest are just bots. They're not fake bots. They're people, but they're fanatics. But they don't buy shit. Those are bots. We're not saying bots like actual buying people, right? Like you buy fake robots and robotic people. No, we're talking about people that have a bot mindset. When we talk about bot mindset, I had to do a stream about that on Sunday and talk about what's a bot mindset. A bot is like a fanatic. I hate fanatics because fanatics, what they do is they have a non-human emotion. They think like a robot. And the thing is, that's dangerous. And what happens is that's what you have in these spaces, what you would call the so-called manosphere, known as the Incelian Vocel sphere. That's what they promote. And the main person that said they do target specifically black women, which is that's not my content because it's propaganda. End of the day, because really all women have problems. They ain't perfect, but here's the thing: if you can't stand them, avoid them. It's common sense, but these incels don't understand that. They don't understand that. So that's why I create this series, independent thinking skills. Get away from bullshit, mindless topics like that. And if you have a problem with that person, don't deal with them. Stop talking like that. That should be like 5 to 10% of the conversation. In the barbershop, when I got my haircuts over the years when I was younger, and when I heard barbershop, when people was in relationships, they talked about the men talked about that like 5 to 10%, unless if it's his wife, his ex, uh, deceased wife, grandmother that was in a relationship with their family structures. Like if they talked about women in general or their sister having a marriage, whatever, and all that stuff, usually that's 5 to 15% of the conversation. And then usually we kill that shit in 10 to 20 minutes in the conversation when I get a fade or whatever. This is when I was a lot younger. Even when I stopped getting one, I think I stopped going to the barbershop at 31. To be honest with you, I stopped going at 31. In 2018, I stopped going at 31. And the reason I stopped doing that shit, put chemicals in my shit. I stopped going at 31. That's 2018. That was 4 years ago. I stopped going. I ain't been a barbershop in 4 years. I come on shit. 2019, come on here then. I think I stopped going. I think I stopped going at 30. My fault. 30. I would say 30 in 2018. And I stopped fucking with them after that. So I ain't been to barbershop in 4 years. See, I'm bald right now, but I stopped going that shit in 2018. And after that, I used to get a taper and everything, but that's just done. And after that, that's done for real, for real. So this is 2022. So I'm about to be 34 this year. So, I done made it. We still here. But it is what it is. But most people gotta understand that shit's done, bro. You just gotta do what you gotta do. A lot of people just mad that once you do this type of content, you move elsewhere, right? So people still talk about the incel shit. I don't really care. Quiet as kept. I warned you niggas, quit talking about that shit because that's not conducive long term. Like I said, people are tired of hearing that shit. We warned y'all last year. We warned you this year, and we're gonna keep. We're not gonna warn you no more. I'm gonna tell you this. For now on, I'm gonna stop warning y'all, especially my vlog streams. If anybody asks me about it, don't. I'm not gonna speak on it. Ask something else. And if you're new to this channel and you ask me that, your ass is getting blocked. I don't want to talk about that shit no more because y'all need to stop talking about that shit. Let that shit go. Do some real content. Have your own mindset and stop worrying about people that's about to be destroyed. They already got sting ops everywhere, bro. Don't even participate in that shit. Because a lot of times these dudes is losers, man. They hate themselves and they can't produce no content. But shouts out to Hiatus Black. I saw his I think I saw his whatchamacallit. I saw his little martial arts with the tree. Excellent shit, man. Excellent shit, bro. That's some good shit. Y'all check him out, man. He's got a good channel. And I saw that shit. I thought it was very interesting. He had like I think he was knocking down a tree. He had like a video y'all need to check out. I forgot. And then I saw his latte conversation. I thought it was pretty cool. And yeah. I want to check the captains out after I get done streaming his outside sword practice. Sure, he know how to use that damn sword. See, Captain's a master. Y'all don't know that. That nigga's a master. He trying to get his real mastership. You fuck with the captain, you done, boy. That guy's like the Shin Master. Hell, great skull to the captain. See, he's got powers. You niggas ain't built like that. I think what's he called, Wei Sheng or something like that. I forget how to pronounce it, but he only he can tell me. See, he's the expert. See, yeah, man, like people know their shit. Get your game up. I used to street fight. I got hands. I ain't scared of anything, but you know what I mean. If I was in martial arts, I say I'm too lazy to do shit. But if I did it, the one I would probably learn is I thought about Taekwondo, but Aikido was good. Karate was good. I thought about those. It's a lot of good ones out there. And you're never too old to learn, but I ain't gonna be in no mixed martial arts. Forget about that. I'm not trying to go pro. Mixed martial arts, the thing I don't like is the submission. The stand up is cool. Yeah, you get knocked out either way or submit. But when you submit, that's the problem. When they fight you on the ground, that's how they get you. See, if I'm tall, right, they gonna go for the legs, the arm, you out of there. If you try to fight them, they always fight on the ground. That's what I don't like about mixed martial arts. Mixed martial arts back in the day, it would have been like old Brazilian jiu-jitsu with the gi, with the Gracies. That shit's done. You can't do that no more. So they want you to wrestle like in the Greek and the combination of the Greeks and Spartans back in the day. Yeah, I ain't with all that. I mean, some people it's cool, but me, it's like I just, I thought, when you're younger, I'll say it like this: if you was like 8 years old, I would say about 8 years old in your 20s, I would have. Let me tell you something. I would have done that, right? But say I was focused on other sports and shit, organized sports, right? And then I said to myself, now wrestling is different. We threw each other. I actually wrestled in the backyard by accident. I did the backyard wrestling. I'm guilty. I'm from Tennessee, so we love wrestling and football, of course. I was acting stupid back then. I was in my own dereliction, in my young dereliction days. I did that shit. It was stupid with a friend, white friend, and named Tim. He was from Florida, and we did that. I body slammed him, clotheslined him. He body slammed me. I suplexed him. We did some weird shit. Me and my older cousin used to do it in the bedroom, in my bedroom technically. He tried to do a rock bottom. I did a leg drop. My other cousin on my father's side, that's around the same age, he tried to do me a DDT. I did a reversal. All types of dumbass shit. We was on some bullshit back then. This was back in, I think it was in the early 2000s. Yeah, we was young. We was acting stupid, but it was fun. See, when you're young in those ages, in your youth, your earlier youth, like teen and 20s, I would consider that, right? And got into pros real young and act crazy. But at this age, hell no. That's that Greek shit, Roman shit. I can't do that shit. I understand the blood and everything. I don't mind getting hit. Let me tell you something. I don't mind getting hit. If I take a lick, I'll take a lick. I'll be a man and take it. And then if I hit him, we both got to take licks. But I am not. Here's the thing about me. If I have blood in my eyes and I'm submitting, like I'm in a wrestling match and my blood's on the mat, hell to the no. I'm not doing that. I'd rather bleeding standing up. You can knock me out that way. But on the ground, and I have thoughts like that too. I'm like, oh hell no, no, I ain't submitting like that. That's some crazy shit. Let's go on, Pastor. Salute, man. Salute, salute. Keep doing your thing, man. I saw that conservative and liberal thing. That was an interesting stream topic you had. Keep up the great work, man. Yeah, stay away from that nigga shit. That's not conducive to your health, especially on the internet. So yeah, y'all need to do some real topics. Quit talking about these hoes every day. That's why y'all niggas is so lacking on here. Y'all like, man, I love to talk about hoes, but but you niggas love that shit. It's like a religion, bro. It's like a religion. You gotta. Let me tell you something about y'all. If y'all do trauma bonding as a religion, like when you talk about your female problems, it is like a religion. It's like a church. Don't do shit. Don't do this shit and expect people to look at you. But you got to understand something. Stop trying to be cute on here. It's okay. It's just it's okay to try different things. Don't let me tell you something. Don't let these bitch ass people on the internet, and especially niggas and whoever, tell you how to think on here. Think for your damn self. It helps your content, bro. I mean, please, you want to be evergreen? Let this shit last and marinate, and then just walk away from this shit, and then come right back in in years, and then see your work, you'll be like, oh goddamn, they respect me. It is not a problem, man, not a problem. But yeah, just do your shit, man. Like I try to tell people, I try to tell this to AM1. Shouts out to AM1. Keep doing the health thing, man. Don't worry about these damn spaces, man. These things is obsolete. It's a pattern. YouTube is like a pattern. They're done with the bullshit. Go to Clubhouse with that shit and just calm down. You know what I'm saying? No more trauma bonding. No more religion. I might do a stream on that probably. I might do a piece on that Sunday. I might have to write everything down, and it's gonna be very therapeutic. Y'all gonna love that stream. Y'all gonna love that Sunday stream. Or do we want real solutions? I might call it, is there no trauma bonding, or do we need real solutions? Or real, I don't say it like this. I don't write it down. I'm gonna sleep on it tonight, right? I'm gonna sleep it on it probably tonight, and tomorrow night I'm gonna write it down. I'm gonna get a piece of paper and I'm gonna jot some things down. And then I'll see how my DTN does well. It's at 5:30 Eastern. Y'all check that out. It's gonna be some screenshots that we have this week. I'm gonna get some more screenshots next week. That's juicy. We need some big content creators since I'm described to Duke the Don. And we're going to support the brother. Shouts out to him. I like him and Alvin Preach. They got some good content. There's no hate to those brothers, but but if they have somebody that I've noticed talking all that weird shit, I can talk about that as well. I'll have one screenshot of that, and then I'll move forward, and then we talk about the rest of these niggas. Equal opportunity. It is what it is, and we keep that segment going. So it's almost in the 2:30-minute mark. So I got a few minutes to speak because I can end this anytime now because this is what 10:11 p.m. Eastern. So if another hour, so if it's 10:50, it'll be 3 hours. So we already know. It'll be 3 hours in because I done did 3 hours by myself. I done 3 hours by myself before. So yeah, I appreciate everybody that come through, and like always, man, I appreciate y'all for the support. No problem. Y'all don't have to be here. Y'all could be anywhere else to say fuck this nigga. Blah, blah, blah. Me, yeah, you guys is all right. It's no hate. You know what I'm saying? You guys is all right. So you guys, man, just do your content, man. Don't even worry about these niggas, man, because they're just hating on us for no reason, and they jealous because they can't do real content like we do. So shouts out to everybody. Shouts out to Nadia. Keep doing your shit, Nadia, man. We feel it in our shoulders. The pettiness will always win. God damn it. Always win. Cha, cha, cheer. Did that rhyme? Man, I saw that nigga he was at Duke the Don the other day, right? I saw him. He timed out Pocket Pussy over at DS1's. This nigga is so desperate for attention. He saw me in the chat, but this nigga don't even respond to me, man. You know I have to say that nigga, fuck that nigga. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't respond to that nigga no more. He's a clown, bro. He just want attention. I don't acknowledge that nigga. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna be like that. It's always gonna be throw shots at that nigga. I'm always gonna roast that fucking clown. At least I showed my face on vlog stream. That's the most y'all gonna fucking get. But when I stream on these panels, I've showed my face plenty of times on this too, on my content every now and then, and when I cam up. Yes, I ain't afraid of cam up. I ain't trying to be a superstar to this shit. I'm trying to tell you, I don't care what this channel goes. This channel is not a superstar channel. This channel is for my real shit. I discuss real things, and I ain't trying to promote this like that. No. If I want to do that, I have to create another channel, and then I can be successful on that end. I ain't trying to take this YouTube shit seriously like that. It's not. A lot of people think it's a business. It's a business. No, it's not. It's bullshit. It's not a real business. If you're controlled by corporations that don't give a fuck about you, they can get rid of you anytime. This ain't got nothing to do with what we say on here. They can get rid of us anytime. Now, if you're not monetized, they don't fuck with you. They just leave you alone. They just leave you alone. You're just an instrumental piece for their success. If you want to participate that, try to make money off this shit, they got you. They already done ruined your content. So don't change the idiots that don't understand money. And all money is not good money. I'm gonna tell you that right now. A lot of people that do that, they lose money all the time. Don't invest in this shit. You invest in YouTube, something's wrong with you. Don't do that shit. That shit does not get you nowhere. Anybody that argue with that don't know what the fuck they talking about. See, I studied this shit since '08. Once they start adding money, people get divided. I don't want to hear it. Don't invest in this shit. It is a class from over here, goddamn it. I drop knowledge and then I step this shit away. That's what I do. That's one of my biggest strengths on this channel. Outside of that, I don't care about the nigga shit like that. The nigga shit, we can do whatever. We'll roast you and get you up out of here. That's easy. They said make money off the nigga shit. No, you don't. You don't need to. It's bullshit. Everybody done tried that. That shit don't work. You gotta have incentivized backup plans to create more channels. I'm not doing that shit. That's why I try AM1 and you guys in the chat, stay away from niggas that ain't being productive. And then if you have real shit outside of this and other money, you can turn this into a job somewhere else on different platforms. This platform, YouTube, is not a good money making business. And I criticize that in a survey. It's not. It's a small side hustle. Just don't invest in it long term. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Just cut that shit loose, go somewhere else and build your own shit. See, KS figured that out. This shit can go away. Only reason why it's not going away, you got too many small YouTubers not monetized like that. And that's a good thing. A lot of people say they need to be monetized. No, they do not. The select few need to be monetized, not the majority of YouTube. No. Because they demonetize you if you say the wrong shit. I see more demonetized channels than I do monetized channels. So we need to stop kidding our damn selves. You monetized channels can go anytime. Y'all do know that, right? Because if you're monetized and you don't have freedom of speech, you're gone. Okay. That's why I say fuck Patreon and these other sites. They ain't shit. This is why I say Rumble is a great option. You want to talk about that shit? Rumble's a better option. There's other options out there too. Here's the trick. Get your own banners, your own website. I've been preaching that for years and years, and it works. But niggas ain't gonna listen. The Avenger shit, that shit don't work. Fuck all them other ones. We talking about some real website shit. Fuck that Mansfield shit. Fuck all that shit. Get your real website. If you got men problems, talk about real shit that works. I want to see somebody counter this shit. But they ain't gonna do that because mainstream media. Like I said, mainstream media's trends is it. We're gonna go back to that stream where I met DS1 and the captain, and it was a good title. Yeah, it was a heavy hitter. He was a heavy hitter, and it was a good stream. This is before I even had the proper gear and shit. I look at classic shit like that, and it worked. Man, oh man, it takes you back. I don't know if I'm gonna make a part 2 of it. I don't think so, but it is what it is. We'll see. So yeah, man. A lot of people just gotta understand, man. No one cares, man. Just do your content and you'll be all right. You'll be all right. So we don't want to hear no BS nowadays. We just want y'all to be efficient what you say and just move on. So I understand people don't like the fact I'm telling truths and shit like that. I know people don't like my ass long term. And I understand that over time. But here's the thing about me though is when I did those contents back in the day, and I think last year someone asked me why I don't do those content no more. I don't do that content because it's not conducive nowadays. You got to focus on the now. See, back in the day, I was on some other time. I was a lot younger, and I keep repeating myself saying that that's my old shit. I think I told this Sakuda, that's my old shit. No one cares about that shit. If you ain't learned back then, you mad late. That's my old shit. I'm away from that shit. I can reference that back any day now. So when you look at it now, I'm just like, hey, bro, like, chill. Like, ain't nobody trying to stay on this weirdo shit, bro. That weirdo shit is dead. Y'all gotta understand that weirdo shit in the manosphere, that shit's been dead, bro. Shouts out to legendary Wacky World of old. Telling to these niggas, man, like that shit's gone. That shit's sauce like biscuits. Villain sphere, villain sector, what we are, what we are. Like I said, I always preach. ACS, antagonists, contrarians, spectators. Say it with me. ACS. ACS all day. We're antagonists over here, God damn it. We antagonize niggas. We're contrarians too in conversations. We spectate on the drama. That's what the fuck we do. And we're pesky about it. All right, I'm gonna get some shout outs. Shouts out to Pastor. Y'all support him. Go ahead. From the Buildosphere. Salute, salute. Who else? Shar. Y'all subscribe to Shar. She's got something for y'all Friday. She's got a Friday show early. And then Juan G's, go support Juan G's. He ain't here, but shouts out to the brother right here. Salute to him. All hail Gray Skull. He's got an after show after Charwood as well. But check them out Friday night. Them both out. But shouts out to Char for coming through. TC Killer, our fellow villain, our fellow troll villain. Make sure you pay your bets on time. I'm just fucking with you, TC Killer. And Gold P, y'all check out Gold P, man. He's got a excellent channel. If you want to talk about real solutions and daily stuff, y'all go watch Gold P. He's got an excellent channel. He's one of the top 3 that has structural panels and shit. Y'all go watch him. That's the dude. Matt, what's going on, Matt? Appreciate you, Matt. You've always been loyal. Appreciate you for stopping by. New, appreciate you, New. Appreciate you stopping by. Psycho Candy, appreciate you, man. Always been a pleasure. Who else came through? Shannon B, my man, with the great question about a vlog stream I did. Appreciate you, Shannon B. You always been support. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Shannon B's all right with me. Alonzo, him with the life insurance. Y'all check his channel out. He's pretty good too. Y'all check out Alonzo. Alonzo's all right. Check him out. Check him out. And shouts out to Mace Taggart. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Mace, you're doing good things. I ain't been over there because I've been focused on me right now. But shouts out to Mace. Shouts out to the advisor. Y'all check him every Monday with the topics. He talk about various things, Utah, all that shit. The advisor's petty thoughts. Y'all check him out. The APT time on every Monday. This is the reason I do these every other Tuesday because of him. Shouts out to the advisor again. Appreciate y'all coming through. All hail Gray Skull to the villains. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I'm about to wrap this up. I'm signing off. Yeah, this is part 11, I believe. Yeah, part 11. Part 11, I believe. It's a part 11. Part 12 will be the next other Tuesday. Not this coming up Tuesday, but next other Tuesday. So this is part 11. And we'll do a part 12. We're going to talk about something different. And I'll see you then. So with that, I'm going to say peace and shalom. All hail Gray Skull. And I'm out.